When's the last time you talked to Jeffree?
Like
any communication. Also, what do you think of HRH collection? Because people like
HRH. Everyone always asks me about this.
She was on my podcast. She was like, I don't know why Trisha's being a but then she was like, I love her. Like,
the drama starts.
That's just the way she.
Her name is Trish. She's got the dish and all the gossip's filthy rich, pretty and pink, hot topic queen, and says what everybody thinks. She's just Trish.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Just Trish podcast. I feel like today's Hot Topics is going to be wild. There's a lot of energy in this room. There's a lot of drama energy in this room. And I'm so excited. Okay, you guys, Oscar's on vacation, so we have our co-host today, SLOAN.
Hi, guys.
Just one name artist.
SLOAN, yeah. I would love
like
that.
it.
But I
Yeah.
add the hooks because, SLOAN's like a toilet brand. Every time I go into the bathroom and I see a waterless urinal, it says SLOAN on it.
Wait, really?
Or
That's
the automatic
iconic.
sinks. You know the automatic sinks in the bathroom? They say SLOAN on it.
Yeah.
So we add the hooks. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that your real? But I know you have a first
no, my
name,
name
middle
is
name.
Michael Sloan Hooks, but I've only gone by my middle name. So in the 5th grade, I learned my name was Michael because they're like, I was doing a standardized test and they're like, fill out your Scantron. I'm like, who's Michael Hooks? Like,
Oh my
they
God,
had
so
it pre-printed because 5th grade,
And then you switched to SLOAN.
No, it was always Sloan.
The middle. You went by the middle name.
Always middle name. I was born with the intention of going with my middle name. So when I actually became 10 years old, I was like, wait, my name's Michael.
Oh
I had,
my God,
a
how weird.
realization.
Yeah, they should have. I know people always say that with weird baby names. Like, oh, that should be a middle name. But I'm like, but then we're going to call him that anyways. You should just call him by the first name.
I agree.
SLOAN fits you for sure.
I agree. Michael was when I worked in the government, I went by Michael and I felt like Hannah Montana.
Oh, okay. So you had your day job and then you're like.
And I was like, yeah, they won't find Sloan on the internet. Right?
Now it's just all. But your channel's just SLOAN.
Yeah, it's just Sloan.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I like
easy.
it. And we have history. We met in 2019?
2019 on your tour in Philly. I drove 3 hours from DC all alone. I was so scared too because I'm not a driver. More than 20 minutes, I start sweating. I'm spinning.
Wow.
So I went out there and I met you and your mom. And you're both so sweet. I remember your mom was like, you're so strong.
That's very my
I was
mom.
like, yeah, she was so great.
That would be her for sure. I know, I'm surprised we're not seeing, I feel like online you're always just muscles and body. And today we're very demure.
Yeah, I'm trying to be
Cutesy.
respectful.
Yeah, okay. I like it.
Don't want to come out here like a WeHo gay all buffed up.
I would have lived for that though. You know
Yeah.
me. I love a good gay moment. You know what I mean? But I like it. We're giving straight coded today, and I like it too.
Yeah,
I like gay,
professional.
straight, all of it.
Wait, I want to shout out just before we get started.
Yes.
I just want to honor to Oscar. I hope you're living your Hawaii fantasy, having the break you need to have because he kills on the show. You guys are so impressive. As someone who's watched you forever, went to your tour in 2019. I was working the government, didn't make a lot of money. They don't pay enough over there. But I just I really made it work, and I was like, I'm gonna go do this. And I just watching her growth. It's it's so admirable, and Oscar is such a crucial part of this podcast, and just king. So just before we get started, let's not compare SLOAN to Oscar. I can never compare.
We're
Let's
not having a Paige Brooke Tana moment.
I don't want to be spiraling in the comments tomorrow. I am not trying to compare. This is very out of my element. So I'm just excited to be here and I'm just not even gonna be nervous. I'm just enjoying it.
It's so much talking and chaos already. We also have SPILL SESH here, which I know you guys, you're friends with everyone. So you came with Alexa Nichols, right?
Nicholas, yes.
Nicholas, I see saying it. I see Nichols, and she even's no, everyone says it. And then so you came with her there, and then now Christy from SPILL SESH is literally right behind you, and I'm so nervous and distracted. I was like, oh my gosh, which I'm so excited because both of you guys, I say you're on it. Mm-hmm. Not only are you on it, but you're getting the views. We were saying some other drama channels, they kind of just fall off. I was scared of drama channels back in the day. Oh my God, I was so scared of certain ones that they ever talked about me. And I was like, wow, they hold all the power. And then to see them now, it's fine. Look, my main channel gets 10,000 views. I'm not saying a flop is a bad thing. I'm a flop and I still post. It doesn't matter. But I'm saying you guys actually crush the drama game. I was looking, I was like, wow, and you guys have very different topics too. You have very different topics than
I know,
which is so. How that niche? How did you get in? You're talking about Kanye and stuff and getting a ton of views. What is it?
And it still surprises me, but I started off really covering the Free Britney movement back in 2019.
Oh yeah.
Sam Lefty, her old manager, one day sent me $100 on PayPal with his phone number. Said call me. So I called him. We had a 2.5 hour phone convo. I recorded it all and. Well, he was sniffing the entire time, which made me think that he was on something because he kept rambling and rambling about this family. And while, nonetheless, it was a lot of, gibberish. He did give me like some really like hardcore tea, some emails and things I started releasing back in 2019. So I started getting cease and desist letters and views and like traction with the Free Britney movement.
They go hand in hand, yeah.
Yeah, so I started covering that, and then I started covering the Dan Schneider Nickelodeon stuff, which is why I'm friends with Alexa Nicholas, because she was like, I was one of the first people to really talk about it. Like the Drake Bell thing, I exposed 3 years before it became public information.
How did you know about it through this guy, through this contact?
Because his mom's an alcoholic on Facebook and messaging people and telling all it. Yeah, you know, it's not. I'm not
it's
proud
always
of like
the moms.
I know.
I know.
And it's not like I'm messaging his mom. Like God, I draw a line when it comes to covering topics. I will not, get personal or things that are unreported. But like essentially, she was drunkenly messaging his stans, and like how stan culture gets. So like messaging the mom of Drake, and then she reveals this. So there was a while where like Drake and I were in communications, like I think in 2021, just about like he wanted to tell his story, but he didn't have the avenue yet.
Really? So did you message him or he messaged you for?
He messaged me a book, and it went off on me, him and his wife, just telling me they're gonna like sue me, blah, blah, blah. And they first tried to like actually manipulate me and be like, we're gonna tell you something you'll get so many views on, like you'll be the most views ever. You just need to sit down with like our lawyers in Virginia, because I was in Virginia still working in the government, like not even planning on doing YouTube full time ever, just more like trying to stand up for like the child stars, exposing Dan Schneider, this bigger picture. Wow. So he reached out to me. I just ignored it, and I just kept ignoring it. And then, I mean, we've seen what happened since then. So that was like my introduction to covering like kind of like classic celebrity. Because you're talking about these drama channels that like have been dead for a couple years because they're still talking about the same drama and the same people. Like, I am not scared to talk about any celebrity, old or new. And if it like interests me and if it interests my audience, I love my audience. They send me so many emails every day, video ideas. We're like, how do you have video ideas? I have like 30 right now.
I see. So they're kind of messaging you what they want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Interesting. So they're giving you like the leads. And how do you get leads now on like things? Because you really do know so much information that like is not out there. And I'm like, you didn't know all this. Like they're just messaging you.
Well, building the rapport with people too. Like I definitely have gotten like some influencer celebrity type friends, and then like meeting with different networks like E-News, Entertainment, like building that like kind of where they're getting their information like back channel wise, but then also building myself up as an influencer to like be present at these events and to be like friends with these people. So like Harvey Levin's not the best example as like a person, like don't like his morality, but he's got like that goal kind of relationship in Hollywood where like
the TMZ guy.
Yeah. So he's got like the Kardashians texting him, but he's also reporting on them. So that like sweet side, and I feel like I've gotten there.
How is it? Okay, that is true. Okay, so I'm so careful because there's certain like drama channels that I really like, but it is hard to like not message them and not make it come across like manipulative, right? Like when someone makes a video in my defense, I always want to be like, thank you, but then I never wanted to be like, well, she was manipulating me by because I would get in so much trouble with like drama channels because I was like friends with or friendly, I'd have them like come to my house, but then they would be like, oh, she's manipulative, she's this, and I'm just like, so then I got scared altogether to talk to drama channels. But once in a while I will message, like I love Paige Christie, so I'll like be like, thanks for defending me or something, but I never wanted to come across like manipulative. Like I'm trying to, and like how do you find that balance? Especially like Harvey, right? The Kardashians are coming to you, but you also have to report them. Like how do you find the balance then?
And honestly, I think it comes down to the person. Like I think like what is thriving now in social media is authenticity, like genuineness, like everything, every stage I've gone through of my YouTube career, my audience has followed me. The cease and desist, the threatening, the me sitting there crying, trying to figure out like, what do I do with Bob Saget threatening me? And I don't like, I'm scared. I can't like go against this. And
I got that too. I got a lawsuit from Bob Saget.
Yeah, really?
Rest in peace. But
it probably like I actually made this video that went viral, and it started the trend of them all talking about the Ashley American Ashley thing.
So it was around that same time that
I think I like, and I don't want to ever take like account, like I'm not going to own it because like I'm owning the whole like defamation lawsuit. But I've never posted a video where I posted it one day, got 1 million views in a day, and then like I was watching TikToks of people talking about the same thing, but like referencing my video, like I just saw this video, and then
that's what it was. Was it about his like stand up about
all the jokes, the swallowings?
Yeah, it was wild, and all I did was do a TikTok in like response to it, and they're like, we're like suing you, and I was just like, what? Like I was like I was like, I didn't even start this story, because it usually comes from that, like well.
And that's the thing too, is like I never go in like trying to cancel someone, trying to like maybe expose like the wrong side of things, but like even that video, it wasn't me like being like, oh, I'm coming after Bob Saget, I'm gonna get him. Like, after I filmed that video, I was on to the next. Like I pretty much forgot about it until I posted it, and then some people were like, wait, holy shit, this is disgusting. We can all agree on it. And it built traction.
Yeah, I know. That seems how it happens too. And it's like, I guess you never know, right? People are like, okay, when does it become like cancellation, or just like what people say themselves though? It's like you can't cancel people over what they say themselves. You know what I mean? Have you ever had someone come to you and like fed you information, like an influencer about like another influencer, like being like, oh, do a hate video on this person or anything like that?
Not. I've had some people, especially I think when you advocate for people who are in like domestic violence situations, it gets very like emotional and personal and like, and you know, you want to try to like report as a journalist in the way that you can't like, I can't just take this person's word if it's not necessarily reported. But I mean, like Vicky, Britney's old assistant, like was so manipulative to me on Instagram, messaging me, trying to figure out where I live, trying to figure out like what I do every single day, like just weird. Yeah, she had this assistant named Vicky who was actually hired by her father, and
recently, like they were in the pool together.
She's been let go. They were at the pool, like, no, I think you're thinking of a brunette. She has blonde hair, but essentially she was hired by the dad. She worked there for like 9 months, but it was so weird to have her message me because it was right after I had this like person try to attack me in West Hollywood. So she was like, it was like, oh, did you send this person? Or like, why are you checking in on my safety? Like trying to ask me questions about like how I operate. So there's definitely people who come through, and like even Sean Kingston, like when I made a video about him, he's like, you know, that guy that's a bad,
of course.
We're like, mute that song. I can't believe I was singing to that. I was like 7th grade, like
it is wild, right? When you think about that. Okay, so he messaged you.
Me like, hey dog, hit me up. Like
Sean Kingston, did
he just got
Naya
arrested.
Rivera? No?
Sean Kingston got arrested with his mom recently for like he had the eeny meeny miny mo song for like a bunch of like scamming, and I like exposed him in a few different videos. But my first video, he like reached out to me and it's like, I know what these people are doing by trying to like reach out and say, hey. So I guess like from your perspective, I don't know how you operate because like if you do reach out, you're gonna be right or wrong either way. Like,
right. That's why I wonder if is there a right way to reach out, because when people make bad videos, I never really reach out because I'm like, okay, they already hate me. But it's like when someone makes a good video, I want to be like, thank you. But then I'm like, but then it's like they turn. You know, drama channels be turning. They like you one day, don't. I'm like, I don't know what to do in this situation. Like,
well, I think also like the bad videos, like we can sometimes like agree, like the Bob Saget one, like we can all agree it's bad. But like some of these drama channels is like, girl, like you could just tell they took one 10-second thing and just made a whole video about it. And that kind of goes to authenticity. I think people like when I make my videos, I'm proud of like the stories I'm telling. I'm not gonna sit here and talk about like, we can all think James Charles is creepy, but do I really want to sit here and make 50 videos about I'm talking about the same damn thing? You know what I mean?
Right.
Not really. So I think that like
I see.
Like when you're beating a dead horse, people are just kind of like, really? That's all you've got? And for me, I've never held back when it comes to like the next celebrity or like someone who I think Oprah, she's scary, but you know,
right?
What she could do to little old me? If
you never know.
If she does, that's quite like a legacy to leave.
I'm scared to talk about certain people like Oprah, like for real, because I'm like, I feel like she's so powerful. So you never get scared though talking about anybody.
I get scared talking about Dr. Luke. And sometimes Scooter Braun, just because they're the ones that like Dr. Luke got my Instagram deleted one time like a few years ago. Scooter Braun like has worked with YouTube like specifically to like his team like go through the copyright. Like he like copyrighted my entire video, which like has places where it's just my face. So he will do like the dirty tactics and like I don't mess around with that.
Don't come for us.
Don't come for us.
I'm actually scared. I'm like we do gossip on here and like talk about hot topics, but I'm very like, I don't know. I guess I'm one of those people everyone hates. I like to be neutral because I'm just scared of everybody and everything. You know what I mean? I'm just like, that's why I can respect when you just like go for it. There's certain things where you're like, obviously this person's in the wrong. Everyone agrees, right? And it's like, but then there's certain things that I'm like, I don't know. Sometimes I just like to keep it like light and cute, but you go in for the
Are you getting like cease and desist letters? Have you gotten like a Just Trish one?
No, I think because we're really good at saying allegedly, and also I'm really good at being like, I know nothing. Like I'm just dumb. Don't come for me. You guys are very like but you're also very factual. I think like the downfall of like drama channels, right? I was so obsessed with drama channels in like 2021, but in like the worst way. I was like, oh god, I was just like, everything was, I think the downfall is when you start like making up stories, right? When the headlines would be like Trisha and Moses divorce, Trisha, you know, like something so crazy that it's like obviously not true. And I think then it becomes more like, okay, people don't care as much and you lose that credibility. Whereas like you and Spill Sesh, I feel like you guys have like the facts and you present it as such and it's not really so personal. You know what I mean? Like you don't take it. And that's why I can never be a drama channel. I take everything a little personal. Like when I see someone that I don't like or like I don't know, have issue with, I'm always like, oh, this is the time. You know, I'd get like personal about it, but I think you're very good at
I know what you mean, because like if it's too like if it actually riles me up, like I can't talk about it. If I'm actually genuinely disgusted by it, like it reminds me of like the 8 passengers thing. Did you see like that what's his name? Chad Frank, the like Frankie, Ruby posted like that happy prison anniversary thing.
Yes.
Like back, I started making videos about it, like in 2020, and they actually, I think it was my first cease and desist letter, and that's how Christy and I know each other, Spill Sesh, because
you guys bonded over it.
Yeah, because we were like we're making the same content. But that was like hard content to make because she like literally like was like harming kids, like physically harming them.
We couldn't cover it. I was like really up. Like it's so upsetting. It's
makes
so
me
hard.
Like disturbed. Like and, like those things I can't. Like there's a fine line where it's just like it's a little bit too much.
The dark ones is like hard. Like P Diddy, all that stuff. Like where it gets like really dark. I'm just like, oh, I don't know if I want to like get deep dive into this. You know, it's a lot. That's why I try to like keep it cute. But that's interesting. I always wonder that. So yeah, I want to consider you a drama channel so much. You really are kind of more. news. You just, I don't know, you tapped into something that like is not online that a lot of people like, which is
Yeah.
like cool. Like I look at your titles and I'm like, that's so interesting.
The only tea over here is trauma. It's not. It's not real tea.
We love a trauma. We love a trauma tea. Is that what you said? Trauma?
Yeah, it's true.
I love
That's
it.
the only tea over here. Like that's why sometimes like I understand the drama aspect, like, and I do cover somewhat of those, but I definitely love like the advocacy, like kind of like activism, like kind of perspective.
Yeah, no, I think that's doing so good, you know, with like a big platform. I think that's like amazing. I just don't know, like I'm not what's the word? Articulative. I don't like articulate very well. You know what I mean? So like I would love to be that person, but also because of me and like my reputation, I feel like no one wants to hear from me. You know, I would love to advocate for people, but they're just like, Trish, we hate you. Like half the people hate you, half the people love you. People just love you, so it's
Thank
good.
you. I'm glad you say I speak well too, because like I was spiraling and I was like looking at the Just Trish thread. I was like typing my name in to see like what people say about me on like
No,
their thread.
why would you do that?
Because
Don't
and I
ever
never
do it.
used Reddit. Like yesterday was my first time. I was like calling her. I was like,
Don't do
but
it.
honestly, I'm really numb to the stuff. Like they really can't. There's not too much they could say.
Really?
Yeah,
How?
I
I'm
don't
not
know.
even numb.
I
I
think-
still cry. I don't watch it. I can't go on Reddit.
Well, I came out at 14. I'm like 30 now, and like I was probably one of the worst bullying cases like you could ever imagine. Like growing up, especially like my high school was Cowboy High. Like I heard everything by the time I was 18 years old. So like actually the social media stuff is like almost like I guess it just doesn't eat me up. Like I would much rather like be eaten up if I had a personal fight with someone in my real life. But like this kind of stuff, I feel pretty like proud of what I put out there, and I don't actually use a script because people on Reddit were saying that I use a script for everything. I don't use any script at all. So
That's the worst thing. That's not bad if that's what they're saying.
no. They said worse, but I was just so you guys know, I don't use a script. But.
Oh, that's a compliment if they think you're scripted. That's actually kind of everything.
Right, well, it's like you see the fifth take.
Yeah,
That's pretty much why.
I heard you say something like out there. You were like, "Yeah, I sometimes redo it over."
Yeah.
I cannot stand redoing things over and over. Like if the audio's not recording, I literally am like, "We're not redoing it. Like we're just gonna keep
Especially
moving."
this, you can't like.
I know. It's happened so many times when I go on other people's podcasts and the audio doesn't record. Actually, Call Her Daddy, the first like 20
Yeah, I
minutes didn't
remember that.
record, and I was just like, I can't pretend it didn't happen.
Yeah.
We're gonna just resum it and keep going because it's just like so hard. But I'm so happy for all your success because it
Thank
is crazy.
you.
We have the picture. We'll have to send it to
Yeah,
Jimmy, our editor. We'll have the picture of us, and it was the first show ever. I remember it was Anaheim. Maybe it was actually 2018. I think it might have been 2018 because 2019 I had a little spiral. I think 2018 was my first show, and it's so cool to see because you actually did the meet and greet too, which I thought was like so cool.
And I have so many video clips. I probably have like 50 video clips of you like recording that day.
Wow.
So,
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I to like credit you. You're a big part of why I do YouTube now, because just to see like a regular person film, it's like, oh, I could do
Yeah.
that. Especially back then, like you're not like high editing, so it's like it doesn't have to be like a Mr. Beast production, like to be a
But
video.
yours is production.
Thank you to the editors, girl. That's like
Oh,
above
so
my
you
pay grade.
so do you have a team too?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
They do my research for me too. They help me.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I sometimes do my own. But
Very swoop of you to have like I
know,
love
right?
it. That makes sense. Okay, because I was like, you're so knowledgeable, and I was like, how do you know everything?
Yeah, they're great. I trained them like to do exactly like how I do it in like the manner. So that's why I can like. I usually like film a video. If it's a 12-minute video, it's like 20 minutes and that's it. Like I don't
Oh,
film
I
for a long
see.
time. So it's
But you
great.
have a podcast too, right?
I do. It's like essentially I started like interviewing people. Like I also, what do you think of HRH Collection? Because people like
HRH. Everyone always asks me about this.
she was on my podcast. She was like, I don't know why Trish is being. But then she was like, I love her. Like,
the drama
no,
starts.
that's just the way she speaks, though. You know, like she's got a mouth like a sailor.
Yeah, sure. Right. She's like a troll, right?
I interviewed her, like
Okay.
Blair White, like some of the controversial, Perez Hilton.
I've actually had all of them except for HRH on the podcast, and I was just recently made aware of her from your podcast. I think I didn't
Wait,
know
that
it was your
clip, it went like
podcast.
viral or something.
I think so.
I
and
was on
like,
the other side.
Oh,
It brought me
yikes.
up.
Tagged in it
Yeah.
so many times. Got tagged in that one clip.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is she?
really?
But she's a troll.
No, I mean, no. She,
Or is that real? Is that
yeah,
her-
it's kind of real.
Wait,
but she's just
really?
super conservative type. Like she's just like I think people get off on like she says the like things that you just don't imagine like a pretty woman saying. You know what I mean? It's like,
Right.
damn, that's coming out of her mouth. And
But you think she has those thoughts? You think she believes those thoughts?
yeah, but she's a lot nicer. Like
The way
I
you
would
said it, yeah.
So she followed me because
Oh my
one of my friends, she's a
gosh.
TikToker, but she's not a big TikToker, but she, for some reason, like HRH followed her, right? My friend's trans. And then
Okay.
HRH saw that me and my friend went skiing and messaged me and said, hey, I saw that you're friends with whatever. He's so pretty or whatever he is. And she's a trans woman and very much like
no.
woman. Like
Oh,
so
no.
she's like messaged me initially just misgendering my
Ew.
friend.
Oh, no.
But of course I brought my friend to the shoot too. And like she was, you know, she didn't call her he then. So So that makes me though think she really thinks like that. You know what I mean? Like if she could
No,
like
yeah.
just the first message you send to me and you're like your friend he.
See, I kind of hate that. Like a lot of people were like, "You guys should."
No, you should not. No, I'm telling you as someone who's like has been there. I asked her just because I need to ask her a damn question about like someone, you know. But don't go on. Don't do anything.
Thank you.
Like-
I'm so confused. I'm like, are you friends with her? Are you not friends with
No,
her?
no, I'm like I'm friendly with her. I'll text her, but you know, she's one of those. I feel like the thing too is like how I do well here, well on social media is like I'm real and like
Yeah.
I'll tell her too and call her on I'm like, you're not going to say he now, huh?
Yeah,
to my
that's
friend.
pretty bad. That's one I'm like, okay, that's a definite no. I mean, overall, I did never like the comparisons because I like you guys are the same, but it's like mine
No,
was
you're not.
truly thank you from the first date. And mine was like trolling back in the day, and obviously didn't mean things I said, but you're like, nope, she means it. She says it with her chat. She DMs
it's
it.
like, yeah.
Oh yikes! That's a big yikes.
Speaking of trans, just guess who I just met at the bar the other day?
Ooh.
Gigi Gorgeous. Talked to her for like an hour. Yeah, I talked to her for like an
She
hour.
was at the same show you were at in Anaheim. She was my only friend that showed up at that show. No one
I
else.
was at the Philly show.
Oh, so that was 2019.
2019. But we were at, where did
You
I
were
see
at
her?
Anaheim?
I think I was at Katy Perry, and that's where I saw Gigi.
Wait,
But we talked
at
for like
the,
an hour.
was
yeah.
it Heart?
Yeah.
It was like $20 to see Katy Perry that night.
I mean, it was like, actually, I
Love
think I
that.
bought 2 tickets for like the cheapest rate. It was like $160, so a
Are
little
you-
bit more than like,
Oh, really?
but
Oh,
like
okay.
it was like Katy Perry in like a small venue.
You stand her then. So many people are like, no, the gays don't want her anymore. And I was like, but I kind
Oh,
of live
Katy?
for it.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad to see that you were a part of it. I don't love the Dr. Luke collaboration.
Right.
And she's like, so my boyfriend, like, I don't know, has had interactions with her too in the past. And
I see.
She's just one of those people that, like, if there's a group of gays standing there, they're gonna come and be like, she's gonna be like, hey gays. It's like, you know.
Wait, she says it to them?
Yeah, like,
Love that though.
hey,
Kinda
gays.
neat. I
No.
think it's a millennial thing where
I
we
think
just
she's-
want the gay
yeah, her
approval.
mind's like a little old. Like, you know, she's just a little like dated. She's just like trying to be cute.
It's me though. That's so mean. I think that's why I relate because I'm literally that person too. I'm like, hey gays. I would be the same way.
Was she
I love
nice
that.
to you?
She was actually so nice, and
Yeah.
I feel like even on the podcast I've said like, you know, not a like I wasn't like a hater, but I was never like
Yeah.
a fan, and I've said that on the podcast, and I was like, oh, I don't know. But then when I met her, I actually like loved her so much. Like she actually was so nice and so funny,
Yeah.
and was so sweet. And I've been on other music videos like All American Rejects where they could care less if you're there.
Yeah.
So she was like overly sweet, overly nice, and actually like became obsessed with her after that. But people do. She's getting the Vanguard Award at the VMAs next week, and I was like, maybe I could present it to her. Like, here you
I
go.
love
Yeah,
that.
I love it as another because we're like the same age, so I think the outdatedness is really like kind of my thing too, because it's just
Yeah.
like a millennial thing. You
It's
know
like
what I mean?
charming in a way, I guess. You're like, you see a bunch of nuns outside the VMAs like protesting. Didn't she like kill a nun in court?
Wait,
she like bought their church and like they like she kept force buying it and they like did not want to give it up. And then one of the nuns dropped dead in court. Like I made a video about that. Yes, Katy Perry. And then there's the other guy that she just bought the house with Orlando Bloom, and like something else happened there too, right?
Oh,
With, like,
that was up here in Montecito. It's like really close to our house.
She's taking out people for properties. So there's something a little bit scary.
It's a little scary.
Yeah.
I know. She's kind of funny. I know, and people just try to cancel her. I guess it's just because she is. It's so funny because she was such a big pop star when I was young.
Yeah.
And like when we were both in our 20s. And so now it's like, yeah, it's Sabrina. It's like all the new girls, you know, Tate and all this stuff. And we're just like, I'm like, who are all these people? I can't keep up with them. Sabrina,
Yeah.
of course, iconic. But all these people, I'm just finding out like Tate, Olivia, all this stuff like that. I'm like figuring it out. Because you're 30, you said?
Yeah. I'll be 30 December.
But
yeah.
that's a big, like, we always talk about this, and that's why I have like such an issue with age gap, like relationships, because I'm 36, but like that 6-year age gap is like,
it changes
it's
things.
major.
Even like my boyfriend, like at 35, like we'll have a song
Yeah.
come on, like a throwback, and I'm like, God, don't play this. He's like, you know, I was like thriving.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I was hearing it in 8th grade. He was hearing it in college. It's like very different experiences.
Yeah, and like once you're older, obviously we have like an age gap too. Once you're like older, it's like different, you know, obviously the age gap, but it's still a gap. You know, there's still stuff
Yeah.
you like don't remember and stuff. Are you gonna do a boyfriend reveal today?
Maybe, but also
Okay,
like,
later.
one more thing on Katy Perry.
Yes.
I
I know we're going so fast. We can like chill, but I love it.
not me pausing. I was kind of.
Yeah,
oh wait,
no,
why
we
do you
can-
think she had you on? Like, what was her intention of having you on?
That's a
like,
good
was it because
question.
is it her kind of like saving face because like you're doing so well right now? That's kind of like, oh, I'm like I suck. Like I need someone who's likable.
No way.
And like it's kind of like she thinks she's like kind of giving charity work by giving you like this really good but then it's like at the end of the day you're doing charity work because
No.
you've got you're like now being dragged down with her. Like for what reason? You're at a up right now.
You're so real. In no way did I ever think she was using me. It's actually so weird when I saw those comments because
Did people
I'm-
comment that? That's like
Yeah.
my genuine thought. Like
I saw people comment that, which was like so. It's like nice, I guess, on my behalf that she would want to use me. But it's like I'm the opposite, where I feel like, oh no, like people are gonna like cancel her for having me in the music video. You know what I mean? Because it could go one of two ways. But
Yeah.
people, you know, like I've always said, it's a flow. Social media, so it's like, yeah, people like me now, and hopefully they keep liking me.
Yeah.
I don't know, we'll see. But like, yeah, so this is interesting. I have no idea. They sent me an email like a week after I gave birth and like, do you want to be in an A-list pop star's music video? And I was like, yes. And I didn't really ask questions. And I have no idea. I was very honored.
Yeah.
I was honored. I was like excited. And I liked the song. People, you know, people love to hate it.
Oh God! Oh, in the car. Oh, give
First of
me the lyrics. Like,
Well, that
girl.
one, they just didn't. I was
Let's
like, how are
be
you not
real.
playing the music? You gotta
Let's
play
be
the
real.
music.
Of course, you like the song. You've already admitted you're like I'm like. Sounds like that.
Well, can I just say though, I also am just like an awkward person. I am super awkward in general. Like I just don't know what to do or say. Like I'm actually really shy in person too. Like
I could read that.
I'm very imposter syndrome where I'm like, I should not even be here. Like what am I doing in this video? So I think it's that.
That was so iconic though. It's just like, it's giving. It's just like, what is she thinking in this moment? Like you gotta be on like that high I'm on right now where it's like I'm partially blacking out, like because of what I'm in right now. You're probably just like hearing's going out. You just hear a high buzz. Like, is this what you guys wanted? Wait, so Katy Perry, you helped Katy Perry's case. Who would be like someone you'd start in her music video would be hurtful?
Oh, I think everybody.
Anyone else? I'm
No,
trying to think like
it's
who's
hard.
like so likable that it's like if Trisha showed up, they'd just be like, what?
Oh, I see what you mean. Like I don't know.
Beyonce, just like, girl, what the hell is she doing?
Maybe.
Beyonce.
Like, I think anyone like Sabrina, Ariana, probably like what?
No,
This doesn't
Ariana
make
Grande.
sense.
I mean, you're an Ethan stan, aren't you?
Oh yeah, I do love Ethan Slater. What do you think about him?
Hard to
Or
look
her.
at, but I'm sure he's nice.
What is with that? Oh my god, this is. I think he's so cute. I love him so much.
I do actually. I like when I prefer some. Actually, my boyfriend's pretty hot, so I'm like, this doesn't work for that. But I like when they're a little bit less attractive, so I can see that. I'm like, you know what? I don't want a hot guy. I'll tell you that.
Okay, but you're a hot guy.
Thank you.
Do you think your boyfriend is hotter than you or less hot?
We're like, I would say we're pretty equal.
Wow, that's so nice
he's
of
got
you.
like some facial hair.
I would say you're like a 10. I don't think there's anything that would be changed about you, really. You have the good hair, the clothing.
It's the LA effect, trust me. Like, you saw me 2 years ago before LA. Yeah.
Really? Well, I saw you in 2019 and you look the same. You look great.
That was a good point because I was like right before I went through my like kind of heavier phase, which was never that heavy, but like it showed. Like even she was looking at my ID from like last year. She's like, jeez. It's like I had a lot of Chick-fil-A that night. The salt was crazy.
I feel like that happens and you just get older. Like most people like thin out, not me yet, but
That's
I'm waiting
what
for that era.
For, right? I'm hoping like 30. I think like my jaw's starting to show.
You have
like,
it. It looks like you kind of look like Zac Efron.
Ooh.
Like a little bit.
That's charged. I know
No,
you like
I love Zac Efron.
I know.
No,
I'm like, that's a
him?
big compliment.
Okay, that's a good thing. Like it's giving like Iron Claw, like Zac Efron, like
I've
kind of
gone
hot.
like a young Joaquin Phoenix. I've gone like a young Elvis actually before.
Yeah, I could see that too. Which one's your favorite? Which one do you want to look like?
You know, every time I look up Joaquin Phoenix, I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, Jesus. Like, I know he's a handsome man, but damn, that's me.
Well, he's a little like playing the Joker now. He's a little scary.
To me, he looks like a really sharp version of me. Like if you put the sharpness all the way up on my face, it's like, whoa.
Yeah. I guess I could see that too. Yeah, I think all of those, which is kind of cool. It's kind of a good thing. You can morph into anybody, which is really great. So your boyfriend equally as hot.
Yeah.
Wait, how did we get there though? So you have to remind me because I jump all over the place. How did we get there?
How like Ethan Slater.
Oh,
no,
right.
I've got a good memory. That's the one thing I could actually offer here.
Because I forget.
Don't think he's that cute.
Are you a musical theater person at all? No. God.
Not really. I mean,
can we find one person who likes musical theater?
I know. I'm like, I wish I could help you out there, but
no.
I'm going to see Wicked the first movie this time.
Wait, but what? But you don't? Have you seen it in person?
No.
You just want to see the movie because it's a big movie.
No, but I know like isn't she popular?
Oh, that was good. How do you know the song?
Because of you. I literally only know it because of you. Like,
you know
she's
Wicked
gonna
'cause of
be
me.
popular. I'm like, that's the only reason I'm gonna like go and see it this year. Or not really, because my boyfriend also really likes it. I'm like, you know.
Is he a musical theater person?
Yeah, he is.
Thank
He's like
God.
trained in like that world.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we actually met. So he's a queer YouTuber. His name's like Matt Cullen, and he does like.
He sounds so familiar. I do know that name.
He interviews like a lot of like popular drag queens, a lot of like
yeah.
some like sometimes like street workers, like things like that.
Okay, yes, that name
he does like
sounds so
really great
familiar.
content.
And no one knows you're dating.
No, but we actually met through WME. We got signed to WME, and then they pulled me to go help him with like monetizing on the YouTube because I'm pretty good at like getting it go green.
You're so
you know?
smart. Yes.
So that's how we met, and then like we met a few years ago, and then we started dating like earlier this year, and it's been like. I think he's actually my husband. Like he's my Moses. I found my Moses.
Oh my! Are you guys you think you'll get married and all that?
I think so, yeah. And he's like
that.
literally because I'm very monogamous type person. Like in the gay community, you know, could go all like, and I don't like to party that hard and those things.
Yeah.
So like one thing we're looking at, it's so cute. Like we're looking at our videos because he's a YouTuber too, and he's done it for a while.
Yeah.
His videos from like 7 years ago are like what I'm going to tell my children one day.
Oh my
and
God.
those things. And then my videos from 7 years ago are like
You're
how
like,
to
this
twerk
is
by the pool and trying to do anything to get attention.
I feel you on that, but I honestly feel like when our kids, right, like I've had kids now, but I feel like in like 15 years when they know about stuff, like it won't be the same.
It's so irrelevant too.
I think it'll be
you know?
irrelevant. I think like the stuff we see now won't even exist. You know what I mean? Or there's ways to scrape things off. So I think like when you have kids or if you have kids, like, you know, and they get older, I don't think you have to worry about it as much.
I definitely
you
want
know?
kids. Like
You do?
Yeah, for sure. I want like 4 would be the max, but definitely 2.
Oh my, I really want 4. I know. I would love 4, but it's hard. Like 1's hard and then
Also
2's
in your
like really
body.
hard.
I'm like, ugh. God.
Yeah, I know. This last pregnancy was a little tough, but honestly, I would keep having kids. But I held them a little later too. Not later. In my head, I'm so warped. Again, millennials, like they think later.
You thought the due date was earlier, right?
Yes,
I remember because we were even like texting like, do you think she gave birth yet? The whole world.
I love that. Aw, that's so cool. No, it's nice that people cared. Yeah, I literally thought it was like the first week of May. I didn't do any podcast in May because I was like just waiting to give birth, and it like didn't happen until the end of May. But it was a cute experience. It was fun. I would love to just keep getting pregnant, but I'm like older, so I'm like, I'm gonna be like, I'm 36. I always, again, internet mind. I'm like, I'm almost 40, but I'm not. I'm 36. But
it's pretty nice. You can knock out a baby in 1 year, right? Just 9 months. So like you can do 37, 38. There's your 4. Right?
That's true. That's true. But I'm trying to get on Traders. I'm trying to get on like projects. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just did a compilation of all the times I mentioned all these shows. I'm like, can you get me on something? I want to be on like one thing. Yeah. They're remaking Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat, which I know means nothing to you because you don't like musicals, but Britney Spears is supposed to star in it.
Really?
And it's starting production.
Wait, was supposed to or is supposed to?
It's allegedly like
Britney?
Yeah. Did you
Going
not
back
see
to
this?
work? I mean,
yes.
I'm surprised because I'm like the Britney King over here.
Oh, you love Britney too. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So on her Instagram story, like Friday, she's like, I'm about to do this role. It's nonfiction. Didn't you see it? Her little story.
No.
She goes, and it's like directed by John Chu, but everyone thought it was her biopic, but she goes, it's fictional, so it's not. So then, shout out Sweaty Oracle. He does these TikToks. He's like, Britney Spears is in talks to play the narrator in the remake of Joseph, which is like a huge musical by Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Oh.
And it starts production in January for Amazon. So I'm like, let me not get pregnant just in case they want to ask me. So I've been like pitching myself. I just try to pitch myself for everything.
Well,
I
that's
just
how you do it.
Like, you would think, but I don't get in anything. I pitch myself constantly, and I haven't been in anything yet. So
well, I feel like girls a struggle out here. I tried like E! News. I tried to do a little like gig with them. Like they had a little hot gossip like segment where they were gonna like do a sauna, and they're like, we need 2 attractive looking guys to go through this week's pop culture on a weekly basis. I'm like, that's me. That's me.
Did you get it?
No.
Really?
No, they went like for either someone internal or like someone who's like a D-list actor who's like needs work.
Have you seen who got it, or you don't know?
No.
Yeah, no,
I'm keeping my eye out though.
Yeah, E! News was like, they just sent me an email and they're like, oh, we want you to be on E! News. I was so excited. I was like, yes, this is my moment because I love it too. I would totally take a hosting gig like that. That'd be so much fun. And then it was something like, it's for the rundown on Snapchat. I was like, well, I don't want to be on Snapchat.
God, I'm
like,
so over Snapchat.
I'm over Snapchat. They banned me. They steal my content, and I'm like, I don't want to be on Snapchat. Like, just watch my show. So I don't know. I was kind of like,
It's annoying too because it's like getting hip again. Like my friends are like 22 years old, like are on it. I'm like, I don't want to like relearn this.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm not into it either. I don't know. I guess it's like kind of trying to be a thing, but it's not my thing anymore. But
let's get into some hot topics.
yes, I love it. Oh my god, I love it. You are
I
the
have my
hot
little
topics
cards.
though.
I like I just try to be like Trisha coded. I was
Yeah,
like,
I
my
love
handwriting's
this.
so bad. Look at that.
I love that you handwritten too. I love a handwritten note.
I don't think I've handwritten like years. It's been years.
Did you do it just for this?
Just for this, of course.
Oh my god, I love it. And then your sticker, is that your merch too? The Let's Get Into
Oh
It?
yeah, someone like actually just sent it to me. It's just like a sticker.
Oh my god, you
I'm
should
not
like
a merch
sell
king.
those. I love a merch. I love merch.
I would have like that merch that you just dropped. I like because you know me, I'm the type that I order
You
right
bought
away.
the Stanley. I know. I'll send you one on our next one. We're getting more in because you bought the Stanley. I was like, oh my god, how did you?
I have the Just Trish shirt too. I have like all
really?
the,
I will. Okay, well, I'll
I have
send
my
it to you.
polyester
Obviously now.
magazine free to sign too.
Wait, what is
The
it?
polyester magazine.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah, I need you to sign it. I want to like video it.
Oh my god, you're so. I love it. This is so cool. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm at the age now where it's like people who like watched me when they were younger are in all these cool positions, and I feel so honored. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh my. Actually, the director of the Katy Perry music video, she's really young. She was like literally in her early 20s, and she's like, yeah, I'm the director. I'm like, you're the director? Like it's crazy. And she's like, I loved you. I like loved watching all your videos, and I'm like, this is my moment because
it gives me like goosebumps because like all your years of like putting yourself out there, being vulnerable, sacrificing that. Like now you're like a teacher. You see those teachers that are like 20 years later, they're like my student like did this like, and now it's
That
like
is it.
you're like a teacher getting like that warm feeling of like, you know what, I made this mess.
Yeah,
and it's pretty fun.
Thanks. I love it because I think when I was young, trying to get all this like attention, it's like all old people in position, right? They're like, we don't get her. She's fat, weird. We don't like her.
The
but
internet.
then, yeah, right. But now all the younger people that are in these positions, like, no, Trish is cool. She's always been cool. So thank you all to the youngins out there, Gen Z. I love you guys. Thanks for making me cool again.
Yeah.
All right, so hot topics. I'm super excited. So
What do you want to get into first?
Oh my god, there's so much. Oh, we have to give a shout out real quick to Warner Brothers for taking us to
And
Beetlejuice.
Patreon, right?
Yeah.
Where's the Patreon,
Oh,
guys?
Patreon. Oh my
Maybe subscribe
god,
to the
yes.
Patreon
Do you have a
episode.
Patreon? Do you want to do yours? Do you have a Patreon?
No, I'm just doing.
We got
I watched the podcast.
Okay.
No, I just know the podcast shtick. I'm like, it's
Yeah,
Patreon
okay,
people.
let's shout it out. Let's do a shout out. Patreon.com/Just you guys for extended podcast. I love you so much. And headshots and stickers and all of that fun stuff. There it is. There's a sticker. King Tut. You have until September 10th to get your headshot, your stickers. We ship them out September 15th. My mom and sister ship them out for you guys. And we do extended podcasts, bonus videos. We just posted a video this week, I think, coming up about my poetry book, and there it is, 100 episodes. So check it out. We also have to give a shout out to Warner Brothers. Thank you so much for letting us go see Beetlejuice early. Beetlejuice is in theater September 6th. Not sponsored, didn't get paid for. I was just super excited. We ended up going to this event by Warner Brothers. It was at Grauman's Chinese Theater, and it was like it was Yeah,
In
I
Hollywood?
never. Yeah, I
Oh,
never
you went
go.
all the way out there,
Yeah,
yeah.
I know. It was a thing, and it was like 9 a.m. It was like super
You just
early.
drive there?
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, I just
No.
can't imagine you just like
Well,
venturing to
technically we got a
Hollywood.
car. We did get a
That's what I was
car.
gonna say. Yeah, I was like, this isn't making sense to me.
Yeah,
Just
because I
kidding.
just don't like the parking and the structure.
know.
You know what I mean? Like that whole thing. And it was great. It was like half influencer event. My dumb thing is the premiere. I was like, we're going to a premiere, and it was like a screening, which is just as cool. But they were literally premiering at the same time at the Venice Film Festival in Italy, and I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But
Yeah.
I thought Satara Yummy was over there. All
Wait,
these,
when
like,
you're there, do a bunch of people just come up to you? Like, are you just nonstop?
Well, yeah, kind
Is it
of.
exhausting?
we had to,
Yes, yeah.
before the movie ended, we had to run out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
get
yeah,
out
yeah,
there.
it was cool.
Otherwise, yeah.
That part was cool. So it was like at the beginning, like a lot of people came up to me, and I thought that was like, it's always cool. It is always cool because literally my job is dependent on like taking pictures. I'm not a
Yeah.
chaperone, you know what I mean? Where I have like all this talent, like, but for me, it's like literally that's the only reason I'm popular is because of people. So I do feel like I owe it to people because again, I don't have talent. I should never be like known or anything like that, but I love it. So when people come up to me, I get excited. Of course, it's Beetlejuice too, and everyone knows. Everyone's like, I knew you'd be here because it's Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
So that was iconic and cool. But it does get a little like overwhelming, especially because I do get a little social anxiety just in general. So
Yeah.
it was like half like fans that could come and then half like influencers. And it was cool. Yeah, I did meet a lot of people. And then they did get us like a few minutes before the movie ended so we could go through the experience. And it was like really fun. It was really great. It's at Hollywood and Highlands, so the afterlife experience, but I'm so obsessed with Beetlejuice. It's like my favorite thing in the whole world. Our dining room upstairs is Beetlejuice. Like everything
know.
about it.
And how long do you had this one? How long
Oh,
did you
this
have?
one I've had, since, I don't know, probably like 8 years.
You had that in like your bedroom at one point,
Yeah,
right?
oh
Like,
my
it was, like,
God, I
up on,
love
like,
that
the,
you
was it like
know.
on the bed?
Yes,
Like, yeah.
yes, that bed frame from Wayfair was
She's
like
gonna be
$200.
like, I'm scared. You're like, I know
first
way
of
too
all,
much.
I so appreciate you for knowing all this for real because I always feel I do get intimidated. I hate asking people to do stuff. I hate asking people to come on here. I get really like intimidated because I just feel like I don't know. Sometimes like when I call people flops, I mean that like with love because like I've in my flop era so many times too. So I always still get scared that I'm like, okay, people don't want to like come on or whatever, especially because you are popular in your own right. So that's why I'm like. So anyways, the fact that you know makes me so happy.
I manifested this whole thing. Last time I was here too with Alexa, I was just like, I got my picture. Like, I'm gonna have the world think that was on it. So then they're gonna be like asking, like,
No,
when's Sloan going to be on it next? It's like,
Everybody wanted you on it. Everybody wanted you on, and so like I was super excited to like have you back, and it just like makes sense because you know so much hot topics and stuff too. We can do a full episode interviewing you, and I love that too because I feel like there's so many people that you like don't know their background, their history, and all that stuff like that. And when we talked, you were like so like you are now, very talkative, very this, and it's cool. No, I love when people like come because it's like my opportunity to meet people. I never go to influencer events,
Yeah.
and so when I do, it's like cool to like get to meet other people. So when I saw you with Alexa, I was like, that's so cool.
Yeah.
That's how I met Tara Yummy. It was from Jake and Johnny. She came with them, and
Love Johnny.
You know, yeah, they're so. I love
he's
him
so
too.
cool. Like
yeah.
I went to an influencer like event one time for like this like Twitch streamer's birthday, and I spent like 11 hours with Johnny and Eugenia Cooney like, in one day.
Oh yeah, what's the tea on that? You said
I mean, it was interesting. I mean, I would say like Eugenia is like surprisingly very easy to be around. Like, I mean, like even us talking and stuff, like she can hold a conversation, like very normal. Makes sense why she's out here with Jeffree Star, like hanging out.
makes sense or doesn't make sense.
I mean, it makes sense that she can speak and like she's
she's
like
in the
she's not
mix.
like a. I feel like a lot of people like negated her as like she's like can't take care of herself almost.
I see, right? Like kind of like helpless. Like oh my gosh, yeah.
And like her mom is like so like on her, which that was very apparent. Like the entire time, like her mom was like texting her and those things. But like I was actually really shocked at like her like humor and like independence, and like I was like, oh, like I feel like she's always just so nice on the internet. It's like, sorry you feel that way. But you're not used to like asking her like normal questions.
And she just like carries it like a normal conversation.
Yeah, pretty normal.
I would love to talk to her too. I just think she's so fascinating.
She was my first podcast guest.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, really? I've never seen her on a podcast.
Yeah, it was like a digital thing.
Like
but we
over
did-
Zoom?
Yeah, but we talked about like the Onision and all of the lore
She
of like.
did?
Yeah, I talked about everything, like all
She's
these people.
spilling the tea.
Well, I was telling her too. I was like, this is your time to go off. If you want to say like Onision was an to me, like this is your place to say that. So
What a
like,
throwback. I would love like anybody in the comments. If people remember, I feel like some people don't even know Onision.
I actually don't even really know him either. I only know him from her because he would make those like
Really?
videos of like acting like he was her, like doing cooking videos and eating, but like obviously very like
With
toxic.
her?
No, like
About
acting
her.
like her, like I'm gonna eat this, and then like you know,
cringe. Yeah, he
very
has
cringe.
some cringe stuff. Oh my God.
I hope he's gone.
Is he?
I hope.
I'm scared of like I get scared to talk about certain people. I'm like, don't come for me. I remember him. He was friends with Shane. Like even before I was friends with Shane, they did like so many videos together, and people would say they look like each other and stuff. Then he had like a documentary on like Discovery. They did like a docu-series about him with Chris Hansen. Like it was a whole thing.
I feel like they're like a couple years late. Like I feel like those documentaries
Yeah.
now really hit,
Oh,
right?
always,
Like it would have been
always.
like trending. Like
Yeah. No, I know. It's kind of weird that people like don't care about it anymore. Like even who's it? Frankie. Who did we just talk about?
the Frankie family, the 8
yeah,
passengers.
yeah. Like I'm surprised they haven't done like a documentary on her.
Oh,
or,
they're
like, a
they're
movie.
probably in the works, I'm sure.
Do you ever get asked to do those?
I actually feel like, well, I am in a position now where I'm realizing I'm exposing things on the internet, getting cease and desist letters from it, being shut up, and then a year later, a documentary is coming out exposing that same thing. So I'm like now kind of reframing like my trajectory in like this industry as like, if I get a cease and desist and stuff, like I'm gonna go start and seeing there's a docuseries there, get like sell it off to like a network and then go from there, because there's a lot of people. Like I'm not gonna say their name, but a DJ in particular who like is very well liked, but then like has so many victims I've interviewed and stuff that have come forward.
God. Can you just tell me? And I promise we'll bleep it out.
Oh wait, you can say.
Wait, what? Really?
Yeah,
I
he,
didn't
like,
know that.
R-worded like some girl that I've interviewed, and
It's alleged or real or?
I mean, I 100% believe her. She's one of my friends too.
Okay, got
and he
it,
like
okay.
he like did some really messed up things with like essentially like they came to an agreement with that one lawyer, that Gloria that always represents
Gloria
like,
Allred,
oh, she's
yes.
terrible.
Yeah. Oh,
she's
you don't
the
like
worst.
her?
Oh,
I
no.
thought people liked her.
What she
Chrissy's
does,
like, no.
and she
I don't
gets
know either.
She'll get a case, she'll get a lot of clout on it, and then she'll sell it to like give the case off to like a private like settlement company, and essentially these private settlement companies make it so that you cannot speak about this after the fact, and essentially it worked in his favor. Like, so he was able to like sue my friend for like $1.5 million because of tweets, because she tweeted out Taylor Swift lyrics, and they were able to take that to the court and say this lyric applies to him, so he now is getting the judgment. Like that's a $25,000 charge. Yeah, it's insane.
Well, did you hear Ariana Grande? It's alleged that her concept album was to get around the loophole that she wasn't allowed to make music about her ex-husband Dalton.
Oh, really?
So this new one, she's like is saying, "Oh, it's a concept album. It's Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind." So she's like, it's just characters or whatever, but it's like obviously people think it's about Dalton and stuff like that, which I thought was like so interesting. And I'm like, yeah, I guess so that's why like it's weird if you just tweet lyrics, like how can they hold that in court?
I know, literally.
Be like, oh, that's about me.
That's
like,
a manipulation of like just our the whole industry, like
Yeah.
entertainment industry, into the legal world. Like being on the other side of it, and like I have a really great lawyer now, but like, the Ace family is trying to like threaten to sue me, so I got connected with
God.
this lawyer, and since then I feel way more confident, like standing up for myself and standing for other people. But like
Yeah.
like my friend, for example, like she thought she was doing all the right things, and then she's like in this like agreement. So
No, it's all hard, and like what you're doing is really good. It's just like most people wouldn't take it on because it is so scary. Like lawsuits, all that stuff. It's just like a lot of work. It's a lot of energy too. It's just like it's draining. So
well, I think
it's
like
amazing.
I was bullied so much as a kid, like, and I kind of like when you have nothing else, like, and you could take someone else's like and own that and like stand up for it, it gives you purpose. Like, and I definitely
For
feel that
sure.
wholeheartedly. Like, I don't have like nothing. I could lose everything, and like it's to me, it's more worth it to like spread the truth, to stand up for someone, and like even just to like be this figure. I'm so proud to even be like standing, like being here today, like sitting here with you. It's
No, what you're doing is amazing. It is amazing,
Thanks.
and it's like I'm always like shocked when people like are able to do that and stand up. I think because I've been so scared my whole life, and I'm always scared, and so I think it's good. People need people like you. Which
we need
is
your book.
It's coming. I think it's coming. I think it's coming. Actually, I was like, yeah. I think did we talk about it last time when you were here? Because we both were like, oh, I just signed with an agency, and so I think it's like happening. But it takes a while. It takes like a
it
year and a half
does.
for it to come out, I guess. Because I'm like on it. I'm like ready to go, but it's like it takes a whole. And then it goes through lawyers because I want to do like a tell-all for sure, but I'm like, how does it work? Like, you have to go through lawyers, and
Yeah,
they're like
it's actually really nice if you can change names. Like that's how because I'm writing something too, and I'm writing about lawyers and stuff too. So it's actually like I was gonna do a series of exposing the Hollywood stuff, but I'm like it's actually easier to write because you could change the names.
Be careful. I'm worried for you.
God, I'm so-
I know. Like just because Hollywood stuff gets me so scared sometimes, right? Like it's like I don't know. Maybe I think I'm just a paranoid person. Actually, do what you want. Don't listen to me. I get so scared.
What I've learned though too is everyone's human, and like they're all still people too, and they don't have this crazy power. Like, and that's something too with like the influencer world, and like even like yourself, like we are reclaiming some of that. Like, why is Bob Saget scared of our like Bob Saget? They should care less.
I was scared though. I was like, I'll delete it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, right. I know. I immediately deleted it. I actually
Did you?
I filmed 2 apologies, and I refused to do them in my studio. I did them on the kitchen floor because I was inspired by you, but also I was just trying not to like them to not take it seriously. Like, you seriously can't do it in the studio. I'm like, no, it's like not working right now.
Did they ask you to do an apology?
I did too, and they said both of them were because I couldn't fake it, and like so I just like read what they wanted me to, but I made it so clear, like I was like held hostage or something.
It's very. Do you remember? I always bring him up, because I did like him too at one point, and he's not doing videos anymore. Do you remember Sanders Kennedy?
Yeah.
And remember, and he like used to do so much drama, and he was like doing so well, like getting so many views. And then he had this weird one about Shane, which just like it just was weird. It was like a lot of it was like just not any truth to it. And then he had to do an apology, and it was the same thing where it just looked like he was held hostage. He's like, I'm very sorry for that video. Like, I will never do it again. Like, Shane is fine. There's no victim. I was like, it was so I guess they asked him to do it, and then that's what he was doing.
And I think that's probably his way of trying to like because the audience can see through it. You know what I mean?
I see.
They can tell.
But then he really did just kind of disappear, which I kind of feel bad. Like he was one of the first drama drama channels that like liked me, and we used to like hang out in New York in like 2012, and so I just, like don't know what happened to him.
Kind
I
of
hope he's
sounds nice
okay.
though, just disappearing sometimes, right?
Yeah,
just to disappear.
I played the Powerball, like literally Powerball tonight, make $1 million tomorrow. I'm like one day,
Yeah.
but then I'm like, would I don't know, because I really do miss the podcast when I'm like on the weekends. I'm like, I kind of want to come back to it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I don't think I could ever.
Well,
No,
I
we
not do it.
realized that if she has more money, she's just going to do more projects.
Yeah.
Yeah, do
To
more
get
music
more
videos.
That's how I
music
feel too.
videos.
Yeah.
It's like I just love the content of it all. Like,
Yeah, I would do like sets, and I would get like audiences to come in. I don't know, just like
I
live
would
out my
love
fantasy.
that. You'd be so good with that audience.
I'd be so
a
good.
shady cameraman.
Yes. Oh, I love. Do you love Wendy?
Oh, that's
my fave.
part of like my whole like YouTube started kind of with Wendy Williams. Like I used, you know, she used to be like, grab a snack and we'll be right back.
Yes!
So my intro used to be like, grab a snack and get ready to wash it down with some hot tea.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. You took it and
Until
turned
the tea
it.
turned into trauma, and I was like, I can't call this tea anymore.
Yeah, right. Then it's like an actual thing. I know that's when we started this too. I was like, ooh, let's do hot topics. But I'm like, we shouldn't call it hot topics because that's Wendy's thing. But now I'm like, it's hot topics. That's what it is.
Truly.
I'm like, let's get into hot topics.
Well, now,
you know?
she's kind of like, she was just spotted for the first time since March 2023. Did you see that?
Oh, where was
she
it?
spotted
I
like
did.
last week. She was at a holistic doctor's office with her
Oh.
son, who her son is currently like getting evicted from his place. Just had this big birthday bash, like spending money that he does not have. So I made a video being like, the son's possibly like, feeding off the money, but at least we saw like sign of life.
Yeah, I would love her on. Oh my God, please, Wendy. She was supposed to have her own podcast too with like Spotify. I don't know what happened with
I'd
that.
be kind of
but-
scared of her though. You never know. Hopefully she'd be like in a good mindset. That documentary
Right.
scared me.
But I feel like she would. Maybe this is like my ego, but I'm just like, I feel like she'd like me. You know what I mean? I'm like,
Yeah.
I feel like we'd get on. Like her and Britney are like my two best friends in my head for real. Like I love them. I love Rosie O'Donnell too. I'd love her on
Have
too.
you ever like
Like,
seen Britney and like have you gone to a
Yes.
concert and such? But
Yeah,
have you ever
she-
seen her like walking around?
Yes, all the
You
time.
have?
Yeah,
Really?
but I never really talk about it because I'm like, I never want to be that person because I do love her so much, even though I'm like the biggest stan.
Uh-huh.
But I never want to be that person that like sneaks the foot. I did once. I did sneak, and I felt weird about it, so I was like, no. And I never
You didn't
even
like
really
post it or anything, no?
No, I never posted it, and she's around. She lives in this area, so I
Uh-huh.
see her like quite frequently, and she drives her little white Mercedes. So even when all this stuff was happening, like, oh, is Britney alive? Like around her wedding, people were like, and I would
Yeah.
see her, and I'd get like really excited, but I never want to be weird, especially because I'm like, I don't want to weird her out. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
feel that. I
you
mean,
know,
especially in the world like that she lives in, like wouldn't it be so refreshing for like someone not to be weird? Like,
Yeah, that's
but
what-
also like would she's not gonna come up to us. You know?
exactly
Like,
right. And it's like I've like seen her, and you just want to like make eye contact. But I do the opposite. I look away as if like I don't know who this person is. You know what I mean? But I do get excited because you see her, and she's so petite and little and cute, and you're just like, oh, I want to.
Really?
It's so hard not to, and I get I get it, but it's like I don't know.
The one thing I don't understand, like, and this is no hate to Britney because like we love Britney, but like,
Yeah.
why is every photo I see like her hair looks like is it windy outside? Like, is it really windy out here? Or, like,
It is windy. We live in like the mountains, so there is like a
Like,
wind
is there
tunnel.
always a breeze on her, like,
Yes,
one
but I
extension?
love that.
No,
I love Britney for not like caring.
It's her signature.
You know what I mean? Because if you see me out in public, I never have my hair done. It's
Yeah.
never brushed in the back ever.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? So I kind of live for that. She's my
I'm
icon
just like
in a
sometimes
sense.
like she must feel that, right? Like,
She
it's
probably does.
heavy.
She's like, I just need to live my. She had extensions her whole life. She's like, I'm just gonna live my best life with
Right.
like my hair as is. I'll always like Britney can do no wrong with my eyes. Like I love Britney more than anything. So I stand her so
I would
hard.
love to see like a blackout, like dark hair, like one more time. Like like when she did
Oh
like the
my
piece of me,
God.
like that era, just like
Yes.
brand new.
I even liked her brown hair when she did those like little tours and stuff like that. She just
Yeah.
got married. I like love that little era of Britney. But
It was so cute, like her
Yeah.
show Chaotic or with the Kevin Federline.
I love that. She's like the original vlogger. Like they were like
So
vlogging
good.
with
I
their
know, in
cameras.
bed and stuff.
Yeah, I thought it was so cute, and the way she talked, I just
So
loved her.
charming.
Yeah. Do you have anything you want to shout out? Do you have a Patreon? You can shout it
no.
out. I know we're like
I don't
halfway
have a
through now.
Patreon. No,
You
I don't have a
don't?
Patreon. I'm bad with those
Everyone
things.
has
I mean, I got my
Patreon.
YouTube channel that I post every day.
Every
So,
day.
yeah.
That's wild.
I got my podcast I do weekly, and then we've got some new projects coming out.
Yes.
soon.
Wait, when are we gonna talk about that? Because are we doing a mukbang still? Are we doing a little
Yeah,
mukbang?
we're
Is
gonna
it
be
gonna
doing
be on where?
So it's going to be a
Tell it.
separate channel.
Okay.
And it's something Christy and I are working on.
I'm so excited.
And you're the first guest of our segment that we're doing.
Wait,
so,
really?
yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I can't wait
excited
because I know
too.
you're all friends with influencers and stuff like that. So I was like very excited. Yay!
Yeah.
I can't wait. You're in the crowd. You're in it. All right, so we finally getting into hot topics.
Yeah, sorry. I feel bad.
All right.
Everyone's like, damn.
No,
Skipped
like-
you 50 minutes. or
It's like,
something.
is it?
I don't know. Is that the timer?
Has it been?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Time
I
flies
look
when
at
you're
that.
having fun.
I haven't even seen you stand up. Usually I see Moses stand up to do the 30-minute checks
No,
on the
I
things.
did. It was a
You
different-
did? Okay. Well, damn. All right, here we go. Did you see the Rolling Stone most influential 25 of 2024?
No.
The list of influencers. It's always interesting to
do you
me.
think they're bought? It's giving bought.
Ooh, well, you know what? I do know you can buy certain things. Like you can buy your way into people, even though I never have done that. But I know you can like buy your way into people, like for announcements, engagements, and stuff like that. This one was interesting because it had a wide range of people.
I'm like, don't know. I'm so bad at those things. I'm like you, where it's like this person
Yeah.
has like 10 million followers. I've never heard of them. Like,
I'm the same way. Are you into influencers
No,
drama?
I do. Yeah. I mean, I keep up with it. Definitely, like Chrissy's more like on that realm of it, where she like is in the lore, like watching
in
it.
the lore. No, but that's what I love. That's why I'm saying there's so many different TikTok timelines because like you're not in the Hallie, Sophia LaCourte. Neither was Oscar. But then I was talking to Christy and she's like, that's all my page. I'm like, yeah, it's interesting how different things is. The top influencers were the top 25 was Alex Earle.
Okay.
Do you know her?
Wait, what do you think about her saying she had to come out and say that she didn't copyright her old Ask FM?
Oh,
like,
I didn't see.
In slur thing. So essentially, she was like, I feel like the Brooke kind of like took over, so no one was like talking about the Alex as much. But
I wonder if she timed it that way. She's like, I know cancel's coming back. Let me just slip it in real quick before people start talking about
let me
Brooke.
just do a quick leak. So she there's like she would like reply to like Ask FM was like an anonymous like question forum, which is the most toxic thing ever, like growing up. Like, and I don't said high school, like people would like send like, you're an F word, like you're ugly, you're disgusting, and like you would never know who it comes from.
Why were people on it?
Because it was so toxic back then. Like we we all loved the toxicity of like MySpace that time.
So I don't remember this at all.
She would reply back using like the N-slur and things like that. So then people like
Alex Earle did?
Yeah, like just like
I
for
didn't
no
know her.
reason.
Oh, okay.
And
that's
then,
odd. What was her apology then? Like, what did she say?
She essentially like
how old was she? Does it matter? I don't know. Does the context matter?
I think she was like really young, 14.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
So essentially, there was like this podcast where like they claimed that they got a letter from her like threatening them to like not talk about her like this leak essentially, like not talk about these slurs, and she's denying that she ever like reached out to this podcast to like threaten them. And she's
we don't know them podcast.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Or do we know them?
Yeah.
I know their names.
Do we actually know them?
Jesse and Lily. I said it last week and I say it again. I will never forget their names. Yeah.
But they're like, I guess the letter they got, they...
Yeah, I saw that.
So Alex came out and she did an apology saying that she did not actually go and copyright those screenshots, that like it's not true.
So who emailed them?
Then who lied, right? That's what I'm saying.
I mean, like playing devil advocate. I mean, maybe someone did just randomly send like a cease and desist to this person. Maybe it had no affiliation with her. Mm-hmm. I've had people like claim my TikToks that like that wasn't me. You know what I mean? Like YouTube videos, people were claiming, and I forgot I had this company forever ago I signed with that were like doing that, and all of a sudden it was like, oh, Trisha's claiming videos, but I had like no idea. Yeah. So I maybe...
What were they called? What's the name of it? It's like such a trigger.
Super Bam.
Yeah, Super Bam.
Did they get you? Did they get your video?
Oh, of course they got me.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
was it with my stuff?
No, I never made a video about you.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Is that good or bad? I don't know. First
I
all,
think it's good. I actually like Lana Del Rey. I will never talk about her because I genuinely love her. Like I just love her.
Oh yeah,
so
I
like
love
same
her.
with you. Genuinely love you. Like just.
Okay. Oh my god, I love you even more now. Because I'm
imagine.
telling you, drama channels like flip flop. They're like love me, and then the next day they're like, oh, she looks so stupid. She looks like a clown. I'm like, oh my god, well what? Like it's hard because I want to love the drama channels. I love it, and I love especially the gay ones. I like love.
Yeah.
I love a sassy gay. But then I'm like, oh, but I don't know if you're like gonna turn on me, so I get like scared. But okay, yeah,
it's like
love
too
that.
close for home. Like I feel like when I watch Just Trish, like that's my time to like disconnect. I'm like I'm not working. I'm not sitting here like what am I gonna report on from this? So it's kind of like my escape. And plus like I would feel so disingenuous like making a video about like you, or even like certain, like I don't think I have any like videos about like James Charles or Jeffree Star. Like
really,
I might
because you like them or just because.
Well, I'm also just not actually no, not that's so wrong. Bad comparison. No, don't like them. But I'm just not in that like kind of I guess realm of like that content.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's a whole different. Those are the other drama channels that I like.
Chrissy's
love.
got that covered. I'm like she's good at it. She's good keeping up with the TikToks and stuff.
We gotta have an episode with you because it's so like Jeffree, James, like all that stuff. Like you're in it for sure, and I love it. That's what I'm saying. Like meeting a female drama channel was like so crazy to me because I'm like it just for so long I only knew it was the gay drama channels. I never knew any like female ones. So,
when's the last time you talked to Jeffree?
Like
any communication.
Like no direct communication. I think he talked about me on a podcast, and then I kind of was like. But then
I saw your little mention. I know there was like that, but there's no like little like hope you're doing well and nothing like that. No.
From him or me?
Either.
I hope he's doing well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like I don't forget the things, and also my issue was never really with him. It was like someone that was like working. Again, it's so long. But I actually don't care about any of it. I'm just like whatever. I think it's like friend called me like a greasy pig face. And I was like, I was,
guy,
yeah. So whatever. I was a little greasy and I was a little piggy. That's fine. But I think I took it really sensitively. And then of course like Shane and all. It's just like.
I'm so glad we're past all that. Like,
yeah.
I'm just so happy for you because I was like kind of like
In my head, I always really like Jeffree. I mean, maybe that's like a hot take or whatever. And I don't know everything he's done and everything like that. But it's like he was always like. I don't know. He was always like funny to me, and I like him. And I love seeing him do. Did you see in Chatsworth? He had his store opening.
Yeah,
and
so
he,
random.
Yeah, did you see the one where he like yelled at someone? He's like, "Get the fuck out!"
Who? And like the fan was like, "Yes, Jeffree, like do it." But who was he yelling at?
And he's like, get out of here. And I was like, why is security not doing it? And he's like, hi, Gabriella. Like, he's kind of just like a little fierce, but I don't know. It's like definitely love-hate where I'm like.
No, it's like love to watch from afar type vibe.
I think that's what it is. You know what I mean? Because I've told you I'm scared of a lot of people, and it's not just Jeffree. I'm scared of like everybody. I'm just like, okay, I'm like, I like to keep my peace because I am so happy in life right now. So I'm like, let me just be like a cute little like key, but like not get so serious. So, but I wish mostly everyone well that I've like had any sort of drama with.
It's
online.
so interesting to even be talking about this now, but I think it's just like, it just shows the cultural impact of like those kind of relationships you had online. Like they were just like that, like, you know, raised a lot of us. So like, I feel like stupid, like, why are you even talking about this? But also at the same time, it makes sense. Like it's something that lives on. Like,
yeah, no, it's actually so interesting because when we were talking about doing the book and stuff like that, it's like the stuff that they want me to like talk about or bring up is like some of the stuff that I'm like, do people even care about this? And like, yeah, kind of. And I was like, I guess, like, I don't mind talking about certain stuff if like, you know, it's as long as it didn't like traumatize me, which it didn't. Like Jeffree did not traumatize me, Shane did not traumatize me. It's like, then I can talk about it, you know, stuff that like, whatever. If something traumatizes me, then I just like don't talk about it. But we just got so off track with that Alex Earle. So she did the apology video, and then you said what? She's just
essentially
like,
she's just like denying everything. And I think she did take accountability, right? She took accountability for posting it.
She apologized.
She apologized.
she did apologize. Christy, the fact checker.
Well, first, she posted on her Instagram story and her TikTok story, and she was getting hate because a story goes away in 24 hours. Then she made a video, but now she's getting canceled again because right after she posted the apology video, she's like, get ready with me for a 70s theme party, and she's in the same outfit.
Oh.
Like, well, now that my hair's dry, and that apology.
I see.
Oh my God.
So essentially, she made an Instagram story post trying to apologize, and fans weren't buying it. So she made a video to apologize, but it looked like it was just part of her, like, you know, just checking off a box. To
She's
essentially,
like, I have 5 videos to do today. We'll do apology first, then we'll do that's
sponsor first, then apology.
That's wild. Yeah, to not let it like sit for a minute to look like you've, you know, reflected in some way. Yikes. Well, you know, I guess did people care? Or did people were they like, it's fine, we love you still? Like, what was the reaction?
I mean, I think there's like those people, like she's got that type of fan base that like they're not gonna like turn a blind eye. Like, so.
Okay. I don't know if that's like good or bad, you know? I don't know. Maybe like, yeah, I don't know what it is. I'm so bad with these kind of things with like cancellations, like how deep. But as far as influential, I guess, I don't know. Do people buy stuff
I'm
because
like,
of her?
that's where I don't understand either. I guess like it must be just literally like products. Like, how is she influential? Like, is she changing their life or their opinion?
Right. I guess
maybe their moisturizer. Like,
maybe people are buying stuff because she buys it. I know Nara Smith is also on the list, and I do buy those plates. She has like these little chunky plates.
I love those.
Those are everything. And it was because of Nara Smith I bought it. I was like, where are these plates from? I was like, it's Gustav Westman. Now being Gustav her clothes, he's sending me the wine glasses. Like, I do get influenced by her. Like, I was like, ooh, that does look good or whatever. So I consider that. Keith Lee, I think, is another one. He's like influential. He was on the list. But Theo Vonn, like, he's on the list. I'm like, is he considered influential? I don't know. Like, he's popular.
I don't get him. Like, is he a character? Is
I
he
don't
like a
know.
real?
I think so.
I think so too, right? But then I've heard he's like that even when he's not, right?
Like, just
always just kind of in joking mode.
Yeah, I don't know. But I guess, I mean, he had Donald Trump on, so I'm like, is he influencing people's votes? I don't know. Like, also, why is Kamala not doing podcasts? I feel like she should start doing podcasts because Donald Trump is getting all these, like, young people on these, like, Aiden Ross, and those people will vote for Trump. I don't know. Like, I'm not political, but I'm like, Kamala should probably do some podcasts. You know what I mean? Like, I think
especially, like, those, like, I feel like those streamers, like, they're so US based, and, like, we get a lot of traction, like, on social media with Kamala, but, like, how much is Canadian? How much is European? Like,
right.
Wait, do you see what happened to that Be Better guy? The guy, he like made a video about Kamala, and I actually watched that like as he posted it, and then he like ultimately had to delete it, and now everyone's coming from his name is
I did love Be Better. He was always on my list for co-host. Like when Oscar's ran away, I was like, oh, you know, I could have him come in too, but I don't know anything about him.
Yeah, I mean his name is like starts with an A. It's like,
do you know you love Be Better? Do you know his name, Moses? He always loved him. Well,
his name's
before all
Aber.
this. What is
Aber, Aber. Aber?
Love it.
Right? I never hear him say his name, but
I love
supposedly his family is like super well off, like kind of Nepo family.
Okay, I
they
get
had
it.
like the biggest like some type of deal ever to go down like privately with the government because like Donald Trump had like paid his family for like some essentially like some kind of like services as far as like
Is this a legend or is this fact?
I'm pretty sure it's fact. Yeah. So essentially his family.
The way he answered it into the microphone like a game show, you're like, I think that's fact.
He just has like he comes from a lot of money essentially.
Okay.
So then he's like created this like Be Better honey brand that he's like making claims about that he got like monks to like teach them how they make this honey that makes you so healthy.
Oh my
And
gosh.
now that he like did that one political kind of thing, people are now looking at his own company and they're like, hey, you're actually selling these things double the cost that you could buy online already from the monks.
Oh, is that what most people do, right? Like wholesale, don't they? Like
No,
get
they
wholesale?
do, but he's like the one that calls out everyone for doing it, you know?
I see. They're
He's
like, well,
supposed
you're
to-
no better.
Yep, literally.
But that's how it works. You know, it's always full circle. Again, that's why I'm just like trying to stay in my lane because it always comes back around. You got to just,
Yeah.
and then the recently canceled too, we'll like talk about that later, but in the recent cancel, they did say that too. They're like, you know, if you talk about people so much, like it's going to come back.
Yeah.
And I think that is just how it works. Like I've done drama for like a while and stuff. You're lucky though. You've never had anyone come
Well, I
knock
mean-
on wood. Maybe, I don't know.
I think it's,
both of you guys, I feel like no one comes for you, but I don't know.
Well,
no,
you know.
yes? Oh, okay. I want to know the drama.
there was the threesome. Just kidding.
Wait, actually?
Well, like the rumors of me and Manny and Christy.
Oh, is this real? Is this? Oh yeah, you're friends with Manny. Oh my God, yes. I have no beef with him.
Not friends though. That was the first time the second time I'd ever met him was filming that day, and everyone.
Yeah.
Second time meeting Sloan.
No, Manny MUA. So Christy did her face reveal with Manny MUA.
I remember this because I wanted you on my podcast. I thought I was gonna get the first one. And I saw you do it with Manny. And I was like, I thought I was gonna get the reveal. I was a little like, anyway, that's a whole other thing. I love you, but I was like,
He was. I was like,
Yeah.
Oh my God.
no, I loved you, but then I was like, wait, but like the reveal. Anyways, I'm that person that gets like a little like sensitive, but I love you.
So bad, but I was like, they were like, oh, she said yes, but we
Yeah.
filmed that video with Manny like months before,
Oh.
and like we wanted to be like the first after the fact because I didn't want to
Yeah.
tell anyone. I was like scared.
Yeah, it was a big deal. We were so excited because we love obviously. It's actually wait. I know you show your face on TikTok, but you don't show it in the videos, right?
She does now.
started to like a couple weeks ago.
I feel like people should see your face when you talk because it is very like it is so surreal to hear your voice and then see your face. It's like this is like so weird because your voice is so.
We got along with Manny a little too well in that video. Everyone,
Yeah.
everyone
Oh,
thought we were like
threesome.
BFFs. And I was like, I literally sent him all this information about me the night before, but I guess we got along too well.
Oh my God! Wait, so you and Manny got along too well?
Yeah, and then they thought like we all like.
Had something?
Yeah.
Have you and Manny ever had something? You don't have to answer. Okay.
No, I mean I feel like we're slightly like flirty, kind of like
Yeah.
at one point, but I'm not like I'm kind of like weary of like dating like that influencer kind of realm.
Yeah.
Like when I did like kind of like start talking to him initially, and again it was like nothing. It was just more like you're cute, like
Yeah.
you know. But I was like more going for like corporate daddy vibes. Like I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I want someone who like doesn't know what I do, and like
Yeah.
we don't have to talk about it at all.
But then you're with someone that's like an influencer.
Which
kind
I
of,
thought that's what I wanted, and then I was with him, and I'm like, "Oh, my video's a 1 out of 10." He's like, "That's pretty bad, right?" I'm like, "No, that's good." Like, I
That's
was like,
so cute.
It's so nice to have someone who like actually understands. Like, I mean, even my boyfriend, like, he's like, I messaged her years ago, like trying to collaborate because he's been to
so
LA thing.
familiar. Like I have to look him up because I really do like know that name. Matt
He does a lot
Cullen.
of stuff with like Keke Palmer randomly. If you know Keke Palmer, they have
love
like a
Keke
show together.
Palmer.
And
Yeah.
stuff,
Wait,
you know.
what's the show?
Bosses?
Is it a podcast
It's
or
on
like a
YouTube.
TV show? Oh.
It's like through her. She has her own network called like Key Network or something.
Oh, I love
so,
Keke Palmer. I'm
yeah.
such a stan. Oh my God, that's so cool actually.
She's got like such a good career, right?
She's the one that's like, you know, we were saying about music videos where people like, not Trisha. I feel like if I was ever to do anything with her, because she's so likable and just like everyone loves her, and I feel
Yeah.
like that would like tarnish her brand. But I love her so much. You know who else you look like when you talk? And well, you don't look like this person, but I'm obsessed with this person. So I
Okay.
feel like just the energy when you're talking is, do you know who Quentin Tarantino is?
From you.
Okay. Like the way you like are just like really hyper when you talk, it's giving me that vibes. Like if you ever see him in an interview, like
Super animated,
he's
yeah.
super animated. But I also thought Quentin Tarantino was like the hottest thing in the world. But you know, I bit more like the animation and the way
Yeah.
you tell a story is very Quentin, and I love it so much. It's giving me like goosebumps. I'm like, oh my God, you're like a young Quentin Tarantino.
I was
It
gonna
has
get
that vibe.
Botox on Friday, and I was like, I'm gonna wait till next week just so I get that extra expressive, you know.
Me
Like
too. I don't have any. I need to get my Botox too, my forehead, but I love
I feel
it.
like I've gotten like numb to it, or not actually numb. That's not the right word. That's
Oh,
what's supposed to
like-
happen. But I'm too used to it.
Yeah, that can happen.
I need
though.
something stronger.
Yeah, you have to get like there is stuff stronger. They're always like doing it, but sometimes it like lifts your eyebrows too much, and then it looks like you have a little facelift. Do you know Rhett and Link?
I used to watch them when I was in like college, and then like I like clicked on their page the other day, and I was like, whoa, like they look so different.
They do look different, right?
It's like almost like they like when a president goes into a presidency, they like they look so much
The
older
age.
after. I feel like I was just like them. I was like, damn, they just run the country for us 4 years.
Yeah, they're on the list, and I was kind of surprised too. I was like, wow, that's crazy.
But
So
good
it's-
for them because they're just like stable. Like they must have that audience
know.
like that we just don't know, but that watches them every
I
day.
don't understand those people though, that because they are older, and it's like how do the audience? I guess they had an older audience to begin with, so the audience just stays with them. I think maybe
Yeah.
when you have like kid audiences and they grow up, maybe they grow out of you.
Yeah.
Maybe they've always just had an older audience, but they're on the influencer list. And I'm like, I don't know if they're influential, but they get a lot of views. Hassan.
Hassan, I know him because of you.
But I know
I've
from
never
Oscar.
watched
I'm
him
I don't-
anything. He's
I
on the
didn't
list?
either. Yeah, he's on the most influential.
Because he's
I know.
like politically like influential. Is that why?
Oh, is he? I don't even know. Like,
I
I
thought
don't
he
know
was
the-
just like the politics guy.
Oh, okay. I'm
yeah, but
not sure.
he's probably the biggest and only big one on Twitch, you know.
Oh, I
so
see.
He has, yeah,
like-
he's very influential.
Going live scares me.
Oh, never
Right?
will I ever go live. Why would anybody ever do that? First of all, like people knowing your location, what you can say, what you can't say. I'm like, no, I need an edit button. I need to say, Jimmy, cut this, cut this, cut this. You know what I mean? Because like
Yeah.
that's like that's wild. That's like the craziest thing anyone could do these days.
I was live
why?
like it was probably like 2019, and I was actually live at like my apartment, but my like parents' address was on the internet, so essentially like I was live, and they sent 4 pizza guys to my parents' house, and they all arrived at one time, which I've never heard that before. Like, how does the Domino's, the pizza, how they all arrive?
Ooh,
So my
that's
dad
like a
thought he was
dream.
being, my dad thought they were being jumped because it's like late at night, and it's like all these people like showing
Oh
up. So
my God,
he went
what'd
out
they
there with a
do?
gun. Went on there with a gun. I'm like, get off my property. And they're
Oh, and they're like, bye, I
we need
gotta go.
they're like, we need the cash for the pizza. It's like, no, we're not having any pizza. But
Oh,
that's
so-
so real what you're saying there. Like, even like me, like I probably had like 60K subscribers at the point, and then I was having people like coming to my house because I
Absolutely
was
not.
live.
Yeah,
so.
I don't need that anyone to know that. I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
When people do the live streaming, it all scares me. Well, Jake Shane, Mr. Beast, Monet, McMichael, Pokemon, and Plastique are also on the list, and I feel like I like Monet, I like Plastique, Mr. Beast, Jake Shane, love.
Jake Shane's killing it.
Jake Shane's killing it.
And he's like good at little dances on TikTok too.
Yeah, no, he's kind of good at everything he does. He
Yeah.
just had Snooki on too, and it's kind of, I love it. And then when I met him in person at the Ben Platt show, he was actually so nice because I went back and forth with Jake Shane. Where I was like, oh, he's friends with David and whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm like, honestly, he's just nice. And why am I like going for this kid? Because I'm jealous actually. Because he like got Ed Sheeran and stuff on his podcast. It's like
Yeah.
he's kind of killing it.
Like we don't need any more enemies
Is
on
he
here.
a nepo baby? Why did I hear that? Someone
It's
said he was a
giving.
nepo.
But
Is
didn't
it?
he grow
It's
up
giving.
best friends with the Sophia?
No,
Richie?
Reggie.
So he went to college with her husband's little sister.
Oh,
went to
what a
college.
But I
connection.
did
husband's
hear
little
his parents
Jeez.
are in the know.
Oh, okay.
Connection.
I love it. There's nothing wrong with a nepo baby, by the way. I love. I wish I was a nepo
Well, I like
baby.
a nepo baby that puts it to work. You know what I mean? At least they're doing
For
something.
sure,
Better than
yeah.
a trust fund kid.
Yeah, no, for sure. He's like doing a podcast. He's like making the most, and he's
Yeah.
like likable, and people like
Well, he
him.
had
and-
Snooki on.
Yeah, you didn't see that one?
No.
It was so good because he was like a fan. He showed a picture of him at her meet and greet with her when he was like 12. It was so cute.
Aw.
And then you got to like interview her, and you could tell they went to like the boardwalk. They did the like Labor Day juice head sound. Like he was like living his best life, and I love that for
She
him.
has
And I'm
she
like,
has an amazing story about being abducted by aliens.
Oh.
Yeah, everyone should go watch it.
oh, actually,
Interesting.
I didn't know this.
well,
Okay, I
it's a
thought you were
real
being
story.
funny.
No, it's a real
Oh,
story.
really?
She has like a
Snooki.
hole in her neck from it.
What? Okay.
See, I
Go
want
see
that.
it.
I want that Jake kind of career. My Jersey Shore, like, recently I just got a fake cease and desist letter from Angelina on the show.
Oh, was
She,
it
like,
fake?
Yeah, she wrote it with ChatGPT. I had my lawyer break it all the way down, and then I put it on my channel. I was like, hey, look at this
Oh
lawyer.
my god, that's what I'm saying. Maybe the Alex Earle thing to the Do We Know Them girls. Maybe it was something like that, where it was like
Where
this,
it
like
could- that's what made me
you
think
know,
of.
because why would she lie about that? I feel like that'd be an easy thing to debunk and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it is wild, yeah. Did she? So,
But also imagine I could totally see her like getting ready and be like, ugh, I don't want to pay this fee for a legal letter. ChatGPT, write this letter.
yeah,
blah, blah, blah.
I would
And
do
then-
it for sure.
Yeah.
I used to love sending cease and desist, but they really don't do anything, do they? It's like people are like, they just like laugh them off these days. And then if you want to go into lawsuit, it's just like so much money, and so
Well,
it's like.
so like kind of the thing, like you don't want to reach out to drama channels. You don't want to give them the ammo. Like if you like send me
Yeah.
a cease and desist letter, it's going to end up on my channel.
Yeah, I
Like,
think I only sent one actually. I think I sent it to
to a
Gabby
creator?
Hanna. Who?
Gabby Hanna?
Who did I send it? What
No,
did
I
you
was
say?
to say like a creator.
Yeah, I think it was Gabby maybe, and then she like laughed at it, and
That's
I
so
was like, oh.
random because I feel like she's
Yeah,
you're kind
I
of
don't
like
know
at the
why.
same. Like you were like both like very. I feel like cease
Yeah.
and desist usually is like one powerful person versus someone who's not. So
Yeah,
like
I
you're
don't
both.
actually- Yeah, I don't know what it was. It? Do you? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I did. I don't know. I was weird back then, so I don't know.
I hope
Probably-
she's doing well.
I do too. I think she is. She looks like she's like living her best life on TikTok.
She's not in like that pink house anymore, right? Is she like
Pink?
gone?
She-
Or was it like red house or pink house or like
Ooh.
what color was it?
I think it was normal on the outside, but the inside.
Oh, inside.
You mean
Yeah.
in LA? She moved back home.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
she moved back
Okay.
home, and she I think she's like very God based these days. You know.
Stresses me out.
Stresses me out, but good for her. You
I
know,
know.
she was like performing her best songs, and like, people were like vibing. You know,
Oh,
she
yeah, I
was like
saw
doing
that.
So I live for it because as someone who also has performed for like 20 people, it's like kind of a vibe. If you like perform. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to do live shows, but it's like I'm so scared because it's like, oh, what if no one like comes? You know, like I think 2019 was my flop era for sure, where nobody came. But I didn't mind. I liked.
I mean,
you know,
your show and the Philly one was like there's a lot of people.
Where was the Philly one?
Philly, I don't know.
Oh, did you not from? Oh, so you drove?
I drove like 3 hours north from DC to get to.
This
go,
makes
yeah.
sense. When you said Washington, I thought like Washington State to California. So you
no.
went from DC to there. Oh yeah. Was it though? I feel like it probably wasn't very crowded. I
It
feel
was
like,
pretty crowded.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe that was the
I'll
one
have to look
that
through my old
was.
videos of
Okay. Like find the crowd shots because usually not.
You know who was always at the
Polished.
Beverly Center? Amanda Bynes. Always walking around with a.
Have you said hi to her?
Oh, I'm not gonna say hi to her.
Have you
but-
seen her?
Uh-huh.
And you never said hi.
She has like a Forever 21 bag, all in one hand, always.
She's someone I might actually go up to because I feel like she likes it, right?
I maybe, but I also for me personally, like I used to send I actually sent her money through her old Twitter, Persian Princess or whatever that she's had for years
What
and
do you
years.
mean send her money? How?
Through Cash App, whatever back in the
and
day.
she would post a Cash App and you would just send her money?
Essentially, she had a really exclusive Twitter that she would put pictures of her ID and stuff on there to verify that it was her. And she
Okay.
would that's where she wrote exposed some of the Dan Schneider things through that quietly. And actually, one time I was at a Free Britney rally and one family friend of her family, Rick is her father, and he came up to me and was like, "Hey, just so you know, I want you to know 100% that Twitter is hers. I've gone to family dinners, we've sat there, we've talked about it. It's been a problem for them for years." And then I actually, there was a point where I questioned whether the Cash App was actually her. And then this is so crazy. One person from Cash App that worked at Cash App reached out to me on Twitter and said that they will show me proof, but they will not send me pictures because they don't want me to share it.
Yeah.
So they FaceTime me, show me their work thing, and you have to put your social security in for Cash App. So you can't lie about that. Because
it's
it's
taxed?
IRS tax things.
Oh.
So yeah, I mean, it confirmed that it was her.
So you were sending her money, and what would you get in return? Just her tweets?
No. I would just send it. She'd be I'm stranded right now. She wouldn't pay me or anything. I never we DM'd very briefly. We never really had a lot of conversation. She would just be begging for money. And I was I'll just send her some money because I felt bad, covering her stuff on YouTube, making money from it. I don't ever want to be
Oh, I see. So you were covering her stories.
Yeah, covering
and
it.
oh, that's nice of you.
Especially early on, before the whole wave of everyone talking about this. But I feel she's scared of me because I've brought so much to the forefront. Even when I worked with the Quiet on Set documentary people, I helped them put all their information together with Amanda Bynes.
Oh my
with Drake
gosh.
because they reached out to me hey, you made a video about this 3 years ago. Where'd you get this information from? So I feel
Oh, were you in it? Did they show you?
I was in there briefly,
a little
yeah.
clip, yeah.
But I just feel a little I feel I can't go up to her because I feel a little guilt to it. I don't know. I got too close.
I
in a
see.
sense. I feel
Yeah.
she'd be scared to be oh God, you're that creep that
But you
knows
sent
way
her
too
money.
much about me.
No, I
know, I
right.
know.
I kind of get what you're saying.
But she
I
doesn't
guess,
owe me anything. I was also just it was just sad. It definitely got at me because Sam Lufty, for example, he would send me emails of Amanda Bynes because Sam Lufty put Amanda Bynes in that conservatorship because she ran away to New York and then he was able to convince her to get on a plane, and when the plane landed, they just escorted her to a facility, and she thought he was going to keep her safe from being locked up anywhere. And this is when she was not doing well, throwing the bong out the window in New York
What do you mean
and
they
such.
took her? Where did they take her to a mental hospital?
they,
How did she say she was going to hurt herself? How does that even happen?
Well, at some point too, it's if their parents could they could do the thing where they did with Britney Spears, where they say she's a flight risk. So the fact that she ran off to New York already satisfies
Oh
that,
my
and they can just get it all
gosh.
done
Oh, that's
without
so
her
scary.
even really being present. So it was so real, and he sent me these screenshots and receipts, and I'll expose them. But he's stop it. She deserved it. Britney didn't deserve it. Amanda deserves to be in there. So it just got I got so
Jeez,
wrapped up
yeah.
into it, and there's not a lot of reporting on it. Not a lot of solid fact we have with
Yeah.
Britney's case.
Oh my God. And does that ever weigh heavy on you? Or are you ever okay, this is a lot?
Sometimes. I mean, I think the Drake Bell was probably the hardest on me just because I have also similar trauma that he has too. So and he's someone who went through that, and he's kind of recycling it too. What happened with the girl later on, and those things. So I feel that got at me a little bit more than some other topics may.
Yeah, and then when you've gone through something similar, it's just a lot harder to hear.
Uh-huh.
Which is that's why the dark again, those dark ones, it's hard for me to talk about too, because it's oh damn, it's especially when it comes to kids or anything like that, it's
Yeah.
it's a whole other level of it's just bringing it up, opening a wound or something like that.
Yeah.
So,
And even
wild.
my content might be somewhat dark sometimes, but I feel there's something, it's giving power to something in that situation.
Yeah.
For me when I was a little kid, was going through this and felt so powerless and just lost, and there's so many horrific things I could talk about one day, probably will never. But
Yeah.
though that feeling is just way too real, and seeing Drake kind of go through those motions, and also seeing someone who went through the abuse but then did it to someone else.
Yeah.
It's such a tough place to be at, right? Because it's do we defend him or not? Because he's also
Yeah.
continuing it.
No, but I think that's such a real conversation people should have, right? The cycle of it, where it's you can either break the cycle or you become a part of it, and a lot of victims just become the perpetrators, right?
Yeah.
It just happens, and I think that's such an important thing to talk about. But it is hard because two things can totally be true, right? You can feel
Yeah.
sad for him and also be upset with him, and I think that is the scary part of people coming forward, right? Especially if you've been a victim of any childhood essay or anything like that.
That's what I like how you said the two things can be true at the same time. I think
Yeah.
there's so many valid points to each side of it.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, we have to hold them accountable, or you're gonna be like, we're an enabler. You know?
Yeah, right. It's a hard. I know that stuff is always like super hard. Social media can be hard on people, and it makes it hard for people to come out and want to talk about things, you know. And I admire Drake for talking about it, especially with someone like so powerful, and it just like it opened up your eyes about the industry too, about like child stars and stuff, and especially like Drake Bell. It's like
Now they're just gonna AI them. Just
Yeah.
make them fake, right?
I know, which they should, honestly. Maybe when you hear all the horror stories about kid stuff, it's like maybe just AI those kids, you know?
At this point, just AI everyone, right? Then should we even?
Well, isn't that's the
We're just all gonna sit on the couch all day, just have robots bring us things.
But isn't that the whole thing of why they did the strike was to like avoid AI like taking over? I mean, it is.
That's interesting. So I wonder because the ruling I thought was like kind of on the writers and the actors side. So I like wonder like.
They kind
Are
of
they going to be able to AI kids? Like,
I know. I don't know. Maybe the kids, I think, for sure. I always think about that with, like, the It movies and stuff. I'm like, oh, my God, those kids must be, like, traumatized. Although we had a child actor. His name is Joshua Colley. He was in Les Mis, and I was asking him, like, did you feel the heaviness? He's like, no, I was kind of just, like, living my best life. I'd get shot and be like, eh. And I'm like, okay, so maybe the kids... But they act like they do. Like Dakota Fanning, when you saw her in, like, what's the movie Hide and Seek? And I'm like, oh, my God, she looks like she's, like, psychotic in there. And it's like, I wonder if she has to feel it, right, as an actor. Or maybe she doesn't. Maybe she's like, I can just turn it on like this. I don't know.
I totally get that. Because, like, especially when you see the sets, like, you think of a movie, but then you see the set, and there's, like, this gigantic space with all these lights and people moving around. It's like, how do they even really get to that? Like,
I know. I don't know if I could. I don't know. Have you ever acted?
I used to do acting like when I was a kid, but I would totally get into it. I
would
could see myself, yeah. But I feel like I'm at this point where like I'm kind of like it'd be like the Wendy Williams type where I have to act like myself.
That's how I feel too. I was like,
yeah.
It's kind of even Kim Kardashian. I know she's like not a bad actress, but you just see Kim like in everything she does. You're like, that looks like Kim Kardashian, which I guess she leans into. But
yeah, I felt like that with the Blake Lively thing, like it ends with that just because like she's such a character. Like I didn't actually know, like I'm not like great when it comes to movies and such, but I wasn't familiar with like Justin Baldoni or anything.
Me neither.
Before this.
Didn't know any of them.
But then like seeing her in that role and like I think also the hindsight of like how she doesn't understand the importance of it, just like totally killed the character.
Yeah, right. I think that's the problem everyone had with her, right? Is like not taking it like seriously. But Justin Baldoni did respond. Did you see that? He wrote a little statement on his, but it wasn't really a response. Everyone's like, oh, he responded, but I was like, it really wasn't a response. It was just like, hey, Survivor, we're with you. And I was like, I like Justin Baldoni because I just started Jane the Virgin because of this scandal. Did you watch it? Have you ever seen it?
Jane the Virgin?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Well, we just started it. It's getting off Netflix September 5th, so you're not going to be able to watch it much longer. I know, but we started it, and I actually really love Justin Baldoni on it. And then I like did a deep dive on him, and I was like, oh man, it's kind of interesting. But I do think again the two can be true, right? Two of them, like his accusations, like there has to be a reason people unfollowed him, right? Like why does the whole cast unfollow you?
Yeah, it's so weird to me.
Yeah, so Blake obviously we see like.
But then are they scared of Blake? That's why they don't challenge her? I don't,
Yeah, I think that's the thing, right? So they're kind of powerful, right? Her and Ryan Reynolds. So it's like, okay, especially the author probably was just like, oh, I want to make another movie. Let me go with them. But it seems like he's pretty powerful too. It seems like he directs and stuff and has his own production company. So I'm not really sure. It is crazy that whole Blake, like, people are like still talking about it. It seems like they both want to move on, but I feel like no one's really letting them.
Yeah. Well, Blake, I think it's going to be a little bit longer, because J-Lo, she had, we watched the J-Lo thing happen. And I feel like everyone's kind of tired of J-Lo at this point. Like, but then she's trying to get like Ben Affleck's money. Did you see like she's like fighting him over like fortune when she has double his net worth?
Oh wait, why is she doing that? That's so weird.
Just because she's bitter.
Are you
she's so bitter. I think so. And like especially like, did you see the stories last week? Like her PR team cooked up like, I mean, her ring that he gave her said like, I'll be with you forever or something ingrained into it.
Okay, she did that like legally. She's like, look what he said to me.
Which is like, it's like they're pick and choosing like things from the past and now like push through TMZ and those things to like make him look bad.
Oh, I see. But like, is he really a prize? Do you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't be better. I'd be like, honestly, I could do better. J-Lo, I know everyone hates her, but like, who likes Ben Affleck? There's no like fans of him, right? No, there's not like a stan group being like, oh my God, our poor Ben. It's like, everyone's like, no, he's a mess. And he always looks like he was miserable and he's, all this stuff. And he looks like he got, he looks like he's been through some. So I feel like overall, it's like we're not really loving Ben Affleck either. He's kind of, he sent those creepy messages to people on Tinder or whatever, and he's always been like allegedly a cheater. So I don't know.
I can
do
see
we love
being
him?
Like, a little entitled, just kind of like hot, he just
for sure.
he's hot.
I think all those Boston actors, right? Even I know he's like loved, like Matt Damon, Mark Wahlberg. Like I think all those people are a little bit those old school actors who just think they're like untouchable, and I don't know. I never really liked them. So when I saw her, I'm like, I wouldn't be bitter about that. I'd be like, bye. Yeah. I'd go back to like Mark Anthony or something, someone on to the next. I like J-Lo for a minute. I mean, but.
I like her too. It's just, I guess it's like we are in that wave of like where if they seem inauthentic, it's like she's so unrelatable. It's like I'd much rather see them like act like a Kardashian and just like give me the unrelatableness. Like I want to see the lore.
Fantasy. Yeah, that's actually so true. But it's like weird we don't do this with like male celebrities, right? Do you ever think of like a male celebrity where people just like dogpile on them just for being like annoying in the media?
No, they're
Right? It's
I
only
know.
women. It's like, oh my God, they're so annoying. And I'm like guilty of it too. I've really like clocked myself with my internal misogyny because I'm just like, yeah, I kind of go hard for women. I'm like, oh my God, they're so annoying. But I feel like there's probably guys that are annoying too. We just don't come for them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm
Right.
trying to think of someone who's annoying.
I know. I'm trying to think too. Who's
Me
I'm
loving
sure
every
there's
male
someone who's,
celebrity.
like,
I'm like,
super annoying.
They're all great. Who is someone that's like annoying that people like don't like as
like.
a
Why did I think of JoJo Siwa? She's not even a man. Like she's annoying though. She's annoying.
She's like, that's what I'm saying though. There has to be like a male equivalent to JoJo Siwa that people all are like, oh, that person's annoying. I guess maybe James Charles, but I guess people like him though too, right?
True. No,
I mean,
he's
he's
kind of
like,
annoying.
yeah, right. But I think universally people are like, oh my God, he's so annoying. But it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of feel bad. You're kind of like, well, okay, he's just like living his life, but.
I was
know.
at a party, a skincare brand party, and I sat next to him at this table. It was like, because the CEO, for whatever reason, just loves me. She's like, yeah, sit at this table with like
Yeah.
the most important people. I'm like, oh. So I'm sitting next to him. Well, he nonstop was talking about his BBL, which like no surprise. But
Oh my God, is that out there? Did you just out him as a BBL?
I mean, if not, like
Okay.
70 other people heard it that day
Good
too.
censor, okay.
But he asked me, he was like, oh, so what do you do on the internet? I was like, I expose predators. And then he was like,
Oh my
the
gosh.
face he gave me.
What did he do? He's just like, bye,
he was
I'm
just
not talking to you anymore.
No, he was like, oh. And I was like, don't worry, I haven't talked about
Did
you.
he do that?
Yeah, he was shocked. He was like taken back.
He was, oh my God.
It was
I
like
love
2
that.
summers ago, so it was still a little bit fresh.
Oh no, and that's like when he had the article where he's like, I want to be uncanceled. I
Yeah.
think that's the problem. I think when you're like trying to get uncanceled, it's like, okay, well you were canceled and like rightfully so, like own that cancellation. You know what I mean? Like you can't like ask people to like forget it. It's like some people won't, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And to ask for it seems like a little entitled. To be like, please uncancel me. It's like,
I'm scared to get canceled. I feel like this is like probably the closest I have gotten to cancellation. Whatever I'm doing here today, like, because there's gonna be like half of people are like,
you
fucking
spelled
sucks.
all the tea, which is like, it is crazy, but I don't know. Like, I do watch your content and I feel like this is like you, but I just like love that you like don't care either. I'm
Yeah.
someone who always am like watching, like, okay, what did I say? What did this? I have to like watch it back, you know what I mean? But you're just like,
No.
oh, I don't care.
I don't. I also just feel like I'm like operating in good faith, and like even when
Yeah.
you message me like, oh, we can cut parts out. I'm like, I would
I love that.
never cut. Like, don't cut. You
Oh
know,
my God, I love that.
say it
It's
with
like,
your chest.
Yeah, exactly. It's so frustrating. I guess it's like, you know, again, I respect it.
Yeah, I get it
but,
too.
like, you know, when people share so much and spill the tea, and I'm like, oh my God, this is so good. But then like, can you cut all this part out? I was like, no, that was so good.
Or if they get vulnerable, I get it. Like, after the
for
fact.
sure that.
Like,
Yeah.
sometimes they don't get what this means. So it's like, so then I have to go to my editor, have them do all these things. And it's like, we got a timeline.
Yeah,
So,
but especially today, I was like, just clock it now if you like want something you want out
Yeah.
because it's like we send it to the editor and then it's like up the next day.
Yeah,
Which you
I
guys
get
know,
that.
obviously you post. So when you film, are you filming that day and posting that night?
no, sometimes I'll post a video like 2 months, like after 2 months I've had it sitting. Like, I've got
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I probably post like I probably upload, or no, what am I trying to say? I film like 10 videos a week, upload 7. So I'll have 3 just sitting, and I'll sometimes do a double post day.
Whoa.
I'll have videos sitting for a while. Like a Kanye one I just posted, I had it like for 2 weeks.
And
like,
it still does well.
yeah. I think
Wow.
like a lot of it, too, is just like the framing of it. I mean, you get it. Like the click, like the titles, like the thumbnails and things like that.
And who does it? You have someone that does that for you.
No, I do all like that part. Like I'm particular about the titles, the thumbnails, all that. They do my editing and they help with the research. It's like a lot of times I just text them throughout the day. I like harass them. I'm like, hey, let's make a video about this. Like this would be a good
Yeah.
story. Let's get on that.
No, but the titles and thumbnails I think make all the difference because
Mm.
I've been on YouTube for like 18 years and I've never had a title or thumbnail ever. I'm always just put like eating chicken or whatever.
Yeah.
And I like, you know, but then once we started doing this and our titles and thumbnails were so good, I was like, oh my God, it makes such a difference too.
Yeah.
I've noticed that with your friend Manny's podcast too. I feel like all of a sudden their thumbnails and titles started looking different. I was like, oh wow, they're getting like more engagement, right? And it's not for anything, right? Like, but it does make a difference to have that
Yeah.
good thumbnail. Because their thumbnails now they had Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively, but it looked like they were on the podcast, and I was like, oh my God,
Oh,
they got them
really?
on the podcast. That's like so smart, you know? So I do think it makes like Philip DeFranco always had those like iconic like thumbnails that people would like click on, you know? And I
Yeah.
think that's, and yours too. It really makes a difference. So I guess advice to people out there doing a podcast, have those good
Well,
titles
SEO
and
too.
thumbnails.
All about SEO because like no one's gonna
What's
look at a video about
SEO?
me. Search engine optimization. So
Oh.
essentially, like I've built my name off of other people's names. Like let's just be frank, because when I put my tags, I would do like the most popular tags in that moment, and that's why my video becomes recommended, and that's like how I get new audience. So
Oh, wait, why do you put your name? Do we do this? Are we putting our names in tags?
no, you
I
should
was-
definitely not.
I-
You would never want to put your name in tag.
Wait, why?
Because that's a waste of a tag space. You only get 6 tag spots.
Where's the tag? I thought they took the tags
So-
off.
No, tags
No,
are in the
there's
very
still
bottom
tags.
of the.
Are we tagging? Should we tag people's names?
No, I was always saying that, but I thought like you wouldn't.
Yeah,
do
you
it.
want to do like 5 to. I wouldn't do more than 7 tags.
But is
And-
it bad if you tag someone? Like, can people see it?
No, it's not a tag. It's like a hashtag. So it's essentially like if let's say I put an article out there about Honey Nut Cheerios, I would tag Honey Nut Cheerios cereal, like morning breakfast, and then if I Google morning breakfast, then that article about the Honey Nut Cheerios will show up because it's tagged that this SEO search engine optimization. So it's tagged that video. So if I make a video, sometimes I'll make one about like something irrelevant, but I'll tag a Kardashian in the tags, and because they're so highly looked up that it will just kind of fall into that algorithm of being recommended.
Gosh, that's so interesting. Are we doing this or no?
We will, now that you're interested.
But
Yeah,
is this, why
also-
would we not at the
I
beginning?
see.
Why would we not do
But
it?
it doesn't. It's not like it's not gonna like hurt as badly as like. It's not gonna hurt you if you're not tagging, because then it's just going to pull you into an algorithm no matter what.
I see.
But like, let's say if someone was looking up the Blake Lively stuff, your video might end up being on top when it if you didn't tag it, it would be like 5th or 6th.
Yeah, you're so smart. When you were here the last time too, you were talking about all the ad placements and stuff. I'm like, oh my god, you're so smart. Like I never placed an ad in my life before this. Like I had no idea, and then like we finally like figured it out, but no clue. But
Yeah.
it makes a difference. You are so smart. You should do a class. You should do a master class on it.
And I've gotten offers for that, but I'm like, no,
Yeah.
those are scams. I'm like,
Yeah,
and no one will be like. I always say it's part of luck too. You can't just teach someone to become a YouTuber. Like,
Yeah.
you have to have somewhat of like a technical like desire too. Like you have to like know how to edit or at least to do it.
That makes such a big difference too, because I've never edited videos too. And again, I think having an edited format and like thumbnails and all that stuff, I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
god, now it feels like. Because it's like, I was always talking about this stuff like in my car, but no one cared, you know? It's like with lights and production and this, and then people are like, okay, this is like, looks better. And so
Yeah.
people want to like, which is so true. Now with YouTube, you really have to have like production behind you. But
Well, also the masterclass thing, I feel like the one part that's missing too is like the crucial part. People are looking at my stuff because I'm talking about other people. So it's like someone comes to me and they want to be a lifestyle YouTuber. It's like, well, no one wants to watch my life either. So like, how am I
no,
going
but I think it could apply to that, right? Like you're doing the search engine, you're doing like a great, like I think
Yeah.
great thumbnails really are like the, you know, the way people click on stuff. I
I want
really
to get
do.
better at that. Be like, if I go to like a premiere event, like vlog a little bit and be like, this happened here.
Are
You
you
know?
going to a lot of premieres?
Yeah, actually, you know,
You got invited to Beetlejuice in Italy. You're like, I was supposed to be at that one.
I actually met Brooke at Twisters. I was on the red carpet, or I think it was like blue carpet or something. But we actually were talking there, and I was there that second. Alyssa texted her like about what she said about on your podcast, because she was right next to me talking with Christy.
Oh my
and then
gosh.
she was like, oh my god, Alyssa just texted me, and then she started reading it, and
Oh,
then it was
real
the same one
life
she
tea.
read like 2 weeks later on the show, and I was like, oh, I was there
You're
in
like,
that moment.
I was there in that moment. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Okay, so you guys know Brooke too. You like know.
Well, just met her on the red
just better
carpet
there.
that once.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Just I always like a fan. Like I'm actually not that shy when it comes to like saying hi to people. Like I would go up to. Like Amanda
Yeah.
Bynes, I'd be scared of. But like Brooke, I'm like I feel like I kind of know her. Like seeing her like through the.
Well, I think influencers in general, people are just like know more because they share so much of
Yeah.
their life. So it is like, okay, I'm just gonna go up because they know them. But I think celebrities, they seem a little more like unattainable because they're just like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, we don't know like what you're feeling with this, because they're just not out there like influencers are.
Yeah.
Influencers share every little thing and you know all that stuff like that. But did you like Twisters?
I actually did, and I'm like
didn't
not
see
that
it.
big of like a movie person, but
What do you like to do? You don't like movies. You don't like musicals. That's my whole life. So
movies. I work a lot. Like I'm constantly working. Like so that never turns off. And then definitely social time. I like get really lonely. I get so
really,
lonely. Yeah.
even with a boyfriend.
Oh, if he's not there, I get super lonely. But-
Wait, are you guys living together?
No, we don't live together.
Oh, okay.
That'll probably not happen for a while. Because I just bought a condo, and even though I have 3 bedrooms, I'm like, it's not big enough for you to be to live in here.
You're so mean. Even this house, I'm like, should we get another house? Because I feel like I don't have room for myself.
Yeah, I feel like I'm just like cluttered, and I'm like such a hoarder. I need to keep my
I
stuff.
am too. Yeah, because you never know. You just never know when you're gonna need something.
Right? I'll
you
take
know.
that one T-shirt from like 6 years ago. Like we'll come back in the style.
I've been getting rid of so much stuff, and then I immediately regret it. I was like, God, I wish I still had that. And my mom's like, I sold it on Poshmark. I was like, but
Yeah.
you have to make room for the new stuff.
Yeah.
So you're just.
I work out. Like I like to work out. I like to go out and like WeHo. Like I definitely love. Like I feel so
Fun.
happy to be like a gay man and like able to live in West Hollywood, because like little Sloan would have never imagined like I can go like see drag queens that are like my friends and like get to know
Yeah.
these people. So I actually go out like pretty often and like not even like drink, because I live like where like all the bars are. I live like
Yeah.
right there. Like I live a block away.
Oh my
like,
gosh,
I can
you
hear
can
them.
walk.
I can see the bars from like my condo. Yeah, so I can like go out on like a Tuesday night, go out for like from 8 to 9, and then just be back at
Like,
home.
what do you do? Go dance or?
Yeah, like smoke a little weed and then go dance, say hi to my friends.
cute.
Like
I love
I
that.
meet a lot of friends too. Like a lot of people come up to me like from social media, and like I've made a lot of some of my best friends just from people coming up to me at a club.
Really?
And, yeah, and then we like talk like normal people, and
You're the real life Pink Pony Club. You went from Virginia to West Hollywood. That's
I know
kind
I
of
love
everything.
that they have that lyric in the song, because I'm like, yes, put West Hollywood on the map.
Right? No, for sure. West Hollywood is like the mecca, right? It's like just so fun. I used to love West Hollywood too. I had like
Mm-hmm.
a phase in West Hollywood, and it was like, it's just fun because it is just like fun dancing, music, and like
Yeah.
there's nothing too serious happening there. You know what I mean? I mean, maybe there's like drama or whatever, but it's like nothing too serious.
I know everyone says like the Abbey drugs everyone, which I've seen
What?
like
Really?
I've seen it on like TikTok where like this bar, like everyone's getting drugged at the Abbey. But I was even talking to my friends about this recently. We've been going out for years. I don't know. I'm sure someone has been drugged at the Abbey, but like
Yeah.
no one
You
I
did?
know.
Wait,
one.
what? Do you want to come share your story or
Come
no?
here.
Come here. You come here too. Maybe.
Yes, the Abbey does drug people. Me and my two friends, and we went out with their boyfriends. We went to the Abbey, and we all ordered the same drink. I was like, this drink is disgusting. I feel sick, like just at the thought of this drink. And my one friend was meeting this guy for the first time, so she was like, I'm gonna drink it all, and literally blacked out. She did not remember. It was like, and
Did you go home
she
with
can
them?
drink heavy. Like she could have multiple drinks and be fine. And I'm the lightweight. And she had one drink and then had some of mine and was done.
So wait, is
She
it
was
the
like trying
boy?
to like run into the streets. I was like, no, you need to come back here right now.
Was it the boy or the bartender, do you think?
It was definitely the bartender.
Really? Which is so weird to me because, like, also, like, aren't gay men supposed to be working at the gay club? Like, why does he want a girl? Like, why are you trying to drug a girl?
I don't know. I hear so many stories about the Abbey, and it just feels like they're bored and they want to
They must go after the
spice
straights
up
because they
their
don't
night
mess
by
with me.
like drugging people. But I
Or
also hear
sometimes
that
people
they
get robbed or stolen, like,
Yes,
you know,
that's the
so
thing.
things will
I
get
had
stolen
one of
from
my
you when you
exes
black
got
out.
his phone stolen there, and he was roofied there too.
Oh my God.
I'm thinking like maybe
Wait,
they're
you need
like
to stay
they're
away.
like roofing people and then grabbing their phones.
For all
For
that,
a
to grab
phone.
their
I don't
Right.
know. I feel like they're bored.
I mean, they can run your tab. They can do a lot of things once you're not.
It's true, I guess, if you have a tab open, like they have your card and
Have you been back since?
no. Well, yeah.
When did we go recently?
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
like,
like,
girl, we went like.
we did go, but I'm not like really drinking there since.
Yeah.
I just get a weird vibe.
No, I can
And
understand
everyone
that.
says it's
I go during the
unsafe.
day. I like to go at like 6 o'clock. There's
We
yeah.
we were there
Yeah.
during the day. It was
Really?
we were there during the day and it was basically empty. Yeah, we went to Craig's and then we went there after for a
Craig's
drink
is nice.
and yeah.
Oh my God, you are like the influencer. You are the influencer life.
she's like way more than me too. She's like over here going to Playlist Live and like things like that.
Gosh.
Breaking into it.
Since showing your face, have you like gotten more like perks and stuff like that? Or are people like, oh my God, you're a spill sesh?
I mean
Well, you
I
were putting
just,
yourself
like,
out there more.
Yeah, I like started going to stuff more now.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I think it's fun. Like I went to Twisters with him and
Yeah, we talked to Brooke together.
Oh my God,
Been like
we
attending
yeah.
events.
Oh, so you guys, did you get Getty Image? Are you guys on Getty Image?
Yeah, I
I
got
like 2 pictures.
Yeah.
Wait, you do? I need to get on Getty
I have a
Images.
couple, like, thank God.
I haven't been on one since like 2017, and I'm like, I need to go to these events to get. That's why I went to
It's not,
Beetlejuice.
and it's not like every event that will have it too. It's like weird, obscure events that will have
Mm-hmm.
it.
Oh my God, did you save the picture?
Yeah, I
I
see
need
the
to see
picture.
it.
of
Go on there and
course.
look at that's everything. That's so iconic. I need to do that.
I hate all of them though. I'm like, gosh, you
Wait,
know.
really?
It just like I don't
It's
look
a-
right.
I'm like,
from
it's
far
good
away.
enough. I'm always so scared of what the picture is gonna look like.
Wait, why did you decide to show your face?
I think I just wanted to do more things, and I felt like I could only really do more if I showed my face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone, I thought it was Morgan. I thought you were Morgan for a second.
Everyone thought I was Morgan.
I introduced her to Morgan. We're actually at a party.
I was still
like,
anonymous.
I need you to.
Yeah,
she was
I
still
was
anonymous.
still anonymous, and we
Oh.
met Morgan.
And what did you do? Were you just
And
gonna pawn it off?
we
as-
told her about it, and she was like really sweet, and she followed.
She was
like,
great.
my-
You guys had a good conversation.
yeah,
Yeah.
she like
Yeah.
followed my personal Instagram. So when I like posted the video, finally, she was like happy to like have people think that I was you all this time.
But how did
Yeah.
you get all the tea? Because I thought it was her because she like you knew so much. Like, you get so much tea.
I think I just was chronically online. Just
Really?
like followed every account ever. Yeah.
Oh my God, because you put stuff together so good. Like you're so investigative.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
I think I like sit there with all the information in my notes and then I'm like, okay, how do I make a story out of this? And I never wanted to come off as like BS or just like something stupid that I made up. I'm like, okay, this person said this thing on this day and then they said this recently. It's like a puzzle.
Yeah. And she does it all laying in bed too. She'll like lay with the mic on like on her
love
chest,
that.
and she's just like working like that. I'm like,
That's
how?
what's so smart about being anonymous, though, is like you having the microphone. You know, you could just do it whenever. It didn't matter like, what you looked like.
Yeah, I
so.
was like, I
Yeah.
don't want anyone to, I don't know. It
Well-
made it so much easier because I'd be like, emergency right now. No
Yeah.
one who cares what I look like. I don't have to do my makeup.
Yeah, but even last night, right when Cancel posted 4 minutes, you're like 4 minutes ago they posted. I was like, damn girl,
Yeah.
on it.
She was sending screenshots to me because I kept like calling her. I was like, "Oh, they're gonna post the episode tonight. We gotta watch it before the
I
episode
Like
Today.
I
today."
have notifications on and like
I do now.
But also a lot of it is my friends are also online, so they'll
Yeah.
text me about something and be like, thank God. Like someone texted me, Haley and Justin had their baby. I'm like, oh my God, I'm at a Dodgers game.
Oh my! And you're no longer with TMZ.
No.
They're probably like, damn, we need you back. TMZ's on it. Who's the one? Charlie Neff. She's on TikTok.
Oh yeah.
She's like on it. She's also
She's like,
always-
oh, she's been there forever.
She texts me like whenever things
Really?
happen. She's like, can you talk about this? I'm like, I don't know who you are. I don't know how you got my number. Like,
Oh
don't
my
text
god,
me.
that's
Love her,
kind of
but-
crazy.
Yeah.
I thought it was a guy actually at first because of Charlie. I thought it was a guy, and then when I saw it on TikTok, I was like, oh, that's the person that always
Oh,
texts
yeah,
me.
yeah. She's cute.
No, for sure.
That's a whole lore of
Is there?
my TMZ days.
Yeah.
I need to know the deep dive. Of
She's
all
like in
this.
reality, she's like collecting photos for the galleries and stuff.
I
and
did,
like
the most boring
doing like
thing
it sounds
ever.
way worse
I-
when it's like she used to be a TMZ.
I-
It makes sense now.
I know, because everyone was like, oh my god, that's how you like start. I'm like, no. I was like, I just sat at the computer all day and scrolled Instagram, and then I would just watch YouTube videos like on my other computer.
Oh my god.
You know, like the holiday albums are like, oh, look at the Thanksgiving of all the celebrities, and like there'll be like like pictures of.
But it was also kind of like degrading a bit because the website caters to men. So a lot of the stuff that we would collect would be like babes in bikinis, like red, white, and blue, happy 4th of July, or
Why does
stuff
TMZ
like
cater
that.
to men?
I don't know, I think they have like male audience, I
I
guess.
did not know that. I would not never know.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so wild.
It's kind of crazy.
They kind of give like locker room vibes, like with how the setup even is too, where everyone's just kind of bounce around sharing their
like
opinion.
on the
So
show,
Yeah.
it is that.
it's got a
that way.
bro-ish like aspect
I
to
feel
it.
bad. I'm
So
like,
weird. No, you're so good. I know. No, it's so interesting. And what are you guys doing together? You guys are doing the podcast?
we're doing a little something together.
I'm like, I want
no,
her to
not
say it
yet.
because I don't know what I'm allowed to say. we,
When's it
well,
come out? Because we can wait too.
we don't know when's gonna come out. Essentially, I mean, it's something that
Sloan
we've like.
and I are working on a little secret
We
project
got
together.
we got an LLC, we got a bank account, we
little
got a studio
show
built.
of sorts.
What?
We won't say the name of it, but
But
something
it's-
is coming
yeah.
very soon.
It's been like way too long.
I know.
Making.
I just saw the picture last night of when we came up with the name of it. It was in January.
Yeah.
And we built a whole set in my garage.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I'll show you the picture.
Yeah.
Can't, you can tell me after one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, oh my god.
So exciting.
That's so smart.
We're like kind of just hoping that it's another like venture in the same pop culture space, but where we go to premieres and like interview people, like we would live for that. That's
Uh-huh.
like really
like red
our
carpet.
goal with
Imagine us
that.
like on the red carpet
That's
interviewing the
so cool.
people.
How do you get on that? I want to know too. I'm gonna be.
I think
there
you just gotta
so
show up with a
Ugh.
camera at some
No,
point.
because
like
okay, so I used to do that stuff like while I was at TMZ, but also before I used to freelance do the interviews on the red carpet. It would just be this one lady that I met through someone, and she would send me on location to go and do those interviews. I'd be like, no money, was free. It was just mostly for my reel.
Who's
like,
someone you
hoping that I
interviewed?
would get.
Yeah.
anyone cool you interviewed?
I meet Victoria Justice, so a lot of the Disney Channel people. I almost interviewed JoJo once, but then
What
she had to
happened?
leave. Her
Just like,
publicist was like,
bye?
no, she's got to go. It was at the Kids' Choice Awards, which at the time, it was like a big deal for me to be at the Kids' Choice Awards, or I was like, oh my God, I watched Nickelodeon as a kid.
Yeah.
You know, before all the bad stuff came out. But
Yeah.
Oh my god. Wait, are you like around his age or my age or younger? You're
I'm
younger.
27.
Okay. I don't want to.
So we're like 2 years, we're like 2 years different, 3 years. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it was still unproblematic.
But I mean, all the people that did the red carpet stuff back then, like I still see them like when we go to events today. And a lot of them just do it for fun. Like they have a website that's like really old. Like the videos don't get a lot of views, but they just have like a website, and something about that, like
Having an entity. Like if we go
like-
together with an entity too, it kind of helps.
some of these places, like all these events, all the same people go and they do the interviews. It's like obviously E! News and ET, and then at the end, they're all the same people.
Mm-hmm.
And no one's really watching those videos, but I'm like, how do they do it? How do they get these invites? I guess it's because they're really positive, but I'm like,
I want to know. Well,
I
I
don't
figure it
know.
out. Let me know. I
Yeah.
want to also go.
Yeah.
That's like my goal dream. But I'm like, how do they get those stuff? I don't know.
I know. I, don't
think
either.
it's a website. I think all those people have like a .com, and then when you apply to go to these premieres, they always want a website.
Yeah.
It's like they don't really care about the following on Instagram or YouTube or anything like that. It's all about the website.
That's so old
It's
school.
so
Yeah.
old school. It's so old school. Yeah.
Oh man, I know that the whole mentality of like you need a website is like crazy to me.
Yeah, that's my
Yeah.
that's my Hollywood insider
Oh
tea.
my gosh, no, I live for it. Oh my god, well, I love that. I need to know all the lore of you. Thanks. That's update from Christy, exclusive from Christy at the
Yes,
Abbey.
we love
I
it.
love it. Okay, no, I want to do that. First of all, I'm so excited for you guys. I really like want to know
Thank
now,
you.
but I mean that's gonna be
I'm excited
everything.
too, especially because like it's so hard to find like real people. Like even when you were saying like earlier, like messing with drama channels. Like I mean, I just feel like a lot of people are just not authentic or have conversations. Like I met a lot of like
know.
influencer people, and like we just don't click. But me and her are like real life. Like we travel together. We like hang
my
out. We're calling
gosh.
each other every day. I know all of her like boy drama. She knows
I
all my
didn't know
like,
this. I didn't
That's
know
like my
this.
best friend. So it's the
Oh,
best.
that's
relationship.
and you guys are like joint for it. Like that's like so cool
Mm-hmm.
when you're actual friends. Because I think like when people collab with people, right, they do it because they're both popular or whatever, and they're
Yeah.
not like actual. And I think that's with my head, right, for so long. Like, you think, and granted, I have to
You
say,
think a collab is a friendship, but it's like just a collab, right?
yeah, right. I've been like friends with influencers, and you just like never know if it's like for, and like granted, I've never been as popular as the people I've collabed with, right? Like Shane was always popular, and Jeffree and David, they're always like more popular than me, so you just never know. But then I always thought we had like real friendships, and then you're like, oh, maybe we didn't, you know? And that's what always like in your head. So the fact that you guys are actual friends and it's not about, because you guys never created content together, right?
No, I had her on my podcast and such, but we've never like done content in this way, and we're going like full running, which it's just great because I like know her. Like we've gone to London together. Like we booked a trip. Like we were in May. I booked it the day before. I was like, hey, I'm gonna miss our business meeting this week. I'm gonna go to London because my boyfriend had like show production. I was like, I want to go away because I just can't be alone. Like so. I called her and she was like, wait, why are you moving this meeting? And I was like, I'm going to go to London. She's like, let me go. And I was like, come on. Like, I got the hotel, just buy your ticket. And then we went together and like.
No, you guys stay in the same hotel room?
Same hotel room. Had no windows. No windows in the hotel room.
Wait, why?
So we're like in London.
Oh my God.
Like, it's 3:00. We don't know what time it is.
It sounds like an insane asylum or something like that. Like, why would you have no windows?
I know, right? I was like, I guess the rules are a little bit different out there.
London's wild. I like London. I think it's like a cute vibe, but.
Did you like go, how many times have you gone? Just like once for the Big Brother or what?
Twice. I went once to see Michael Jackson in 2001, and then I went again, for Celebrity Big Brother. I think those are the only 2 times, but it's just a different vibe over there. But shout out to my Brits. I love Bridgerton, so like I'm really back into like the British culture of it all. You know what I mean? I'm back, and I always talk about him, but Jonathan Bailey is like my favorite person in the whole world. So he's British, so then I'm joining the British bandwagon. You know what I mean? So so you don't have any obsessions. You don't obsess over anybody, anything, any stories.
No, I definitely have obsessed. I'm obsessed with cleaning.
What?
If you saw my place, I'm so
Are you a
crazy
Virgo?
clean. No, I think it's like I'm a control freak, so it's like one of the only. It's like one of the only things I can have control over in my life. You know?
Really?
Well, not only, but you know, I mean, I think especially in the influencer world too, you don't like a lot of things are like you just put it out there. So I think I since I've gone more popular, I've gone a little bit crazier when it comes to eating and cleaning. Like I'm very controlled because it's like those are where I feel like I can, you know, have that power.
That's usually the places, right, when they talk about eating disorders, is like people want to feel like some sense of control in their life, which is like, yeah, I guess that makes sense. That's cleaning. But cleaning is a good thing to be. I'm the opposite. I like can't. I don't even know how to clean. I don't know. Like I feel like I'm out of breath cleaning. My daughter loves cleaning Malibu. She's a Virgo and she like cleans all the time. We just got her like brooms as like a toy, like this little broom thing. And she like mops our house and wash. It's like crazy. She's not even 2 years old and she like loves to clean. And if something's dirty, she's like dirty, new one. Like she's like very that. And I'm like, how did she learn that? Because it's like we're not like dirty, but it's just like at the same time she's like so clean. And I'm like, I guess it's just in you. It's like, you know, I don't know, when you're gay, it's just like, it's just, you're born with it, you know?
Literally.
Yeah.
Wait, speaking of your daughters, which are like so adorable, cute, but like every time I see Elvis, like she literally looks like Malibu, right? Like is that as I feel like they're supposed to look like a little bit different.
No, they're like twins.
But they look like even like do they have like a slight like birthmark like
they
here?
have the birthmark there.
Which, does that just go away over time? Like
It
Malibu
does.
doesn't have that now, right?
Yeah, it stretches. And I actually had it too when I was like little. It like, and I kind of have it sometimes in like heat, you can see it, but it like stretches out over time. So like it's like a little, I guess they call them stork bites or whatever.
But they look like so much alike.
Same birthmark.
They're like twins. Every time we see pictures at the same time, we're kind of shocked.
Yeah.
The lashes, the eyes, the eye color is identical. And I was like, okay.
They both have her eye color, which is like, you know,
so weird.
genetic.
Like, were they going to be twins, but then like one just like, you know,
I
didn't
really
get in or
feel
something?
that. Because, you know, are you the
Twin
only person?
eggs or something? Or?
Do you have other blue-eyed people in your family?
My dad, but my sister and my mom have like dark brown eye and dark brown hair.
Everyone in my family has different eyes. My mom has blue eyes, obviously, and like me. But like my sister has green eyes, my brother has brown, my dad has brown. But like they both have the exact same blue eyes as me. And I was like, how? Like that's not really like that. And then they have his exact eyelashes. Like they look identical, and it is crazy. And I always knew that. I'm like, if we have a third baby, are they gonna just look exactly the same?
Yeah.
Because we were like determined Alice was gonna look so different. I'm like, oh, she's gonna have like different features, different this, and like
It's
just
like
the exact
copy paste.
Yeah, literally. It is like a weird thing. So I was just like, I don't know. Yeah, maybe they're meant to be twins, you know, like past
maybe you're
lives.
supposed to, and then like
yes. Do you believe in those like past lives?
I think so in some way. Like because I definitely feel like there are certain lessons like I even experienced myself, like where But also, is that just me, like my trauma? Is that just like me coping with my trauma?
Maybe.
But I think so. There could be. But I guess like my friend told me like when it comes to you know the numbers, like you're like a number I guess out of 10 and like on like what stage you are in your life. Like a 10 is like the best. Like you're about to like move on to the next realm, and like a lot of like celebrities or like influential people are like a 10. But I was like a 1. So.
Wait, and then they die? Is that what you're saying?
No, like I guess their soul's like released. Like it's like the like almost like the end of like
in
reincarnation.
your like karmic, yeah. Like in your
Wait, so
karmic
like if I'm the
cycles.
happiest I've ever been right now, I'm a 10. Am I like gonna die
No,
soon?
your number is already determined like before you're like it's like when you're born. Like they do a calculation with like your date, year, and like
Oh.
Yeah, I think it's called like
thing.
an anagram.
Yeah, and
But
like
it means-
it's like
it
a
means-
formula. Like you put your birthday is like
What is
May, right?
how are you a 1 then?
They just did the math of like 1994 minus this plus this equals, and then that's your life number.
Oh, I see.
I'll
And
look
then,
up for you later.
okay. I don't know if I want to know because then I know if I'm going to die soon or something
No,
like
it's
that.
not a die
No,
thing.
it
It's more like
means
Oh.
it's
next
sort of like
life.
let's say you're a 1, you're gonna be reincarnated. Like you said past life. It's
As
kinda like
another
that.
1.
Yeah, you'll be a 2,
Oh, you go up?
and then you'll be like a 3. That's
So
what
if
I
you're a
think.
10, then what? You go back down to being
No,
1?
then you're done,
there's only 10
and
lives.
then you're like at peace.
Okay, it's like a cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 9 lives but 10.
I guess so.
I like that. I like that idea. I think I was in a past life for sure.
Well, I think so too. I mean, like seeing you
We
like
know
your-
each other
your
somehow?
No, I just like even
Oh,
like
me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
your
yeah, yeah.
D-Day or whatever like video.
What is D-Day?
Or like what's the one where you're
Is
like
that
in
World
war?
War II?
The
That
music
was a good
video.
reference. I didn't know. I thought D-Day was World War II, and I was like, I don't know anything about that.
Oh
yeah.
wait, I thought you were redoing the D-Day thing. 'Cause
No,
it's
I
like
was
on the
redoing My
beach or
Chemical
whatever.
Romance.
Maybe they were doing that.
I think they were
but she
doing
was
D-Day or something.
Chemical Romance.
Oh, really? I
Yeah.
had no idea. I just
but
saw them. I was like,
the
that
way
was
you
fun.
embody that character, I'm just like, she's been there before. Like that's a past life coming out right now.
Love that. There's so many past lives I get from you. Like just looking at you, I get so I don't know. There's like something. There's so many people that come to my mind when I look at you. It's like weird. It's like all embodied in one. You definitely have like something. You give me also like Sabrina Carpenter vibes a little bit.
Oh.
Do people tell you look like her sometimes?
No.
I feel like you could be her for Halloween or something like that.
I did put this weird like concealer under my eyes because I feel like I looked tired, and maybe it looks kind of red or
No,
orange.
You
I
don't. What
know.
time did you said you go to bed at 9?
I went to bed at like 10 last night and got up at 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you go work out in the morning? Is that what
No,
you do?
no, not before today. No, I was like, this is all I'm doing.
Oh my god, I love it. I know I got up early too. I get up and like glam. It's like mine like 5 a.m. too. It's like a
Yeah.
whole thing. Wait, so you won't go home and film a video?
Today? I don't know. Maybe I will, but I
you
already
look
have
so
videos already
good.
pre-filmed.
Like after this, I literally go and like I'm like, okay, what can I all film in like one day? Because I only do my
Oh,
hair and
yeah.
makeup like twice a week, and I'm like, what can I film in like these 2 days? That
I don't
get?
care what I look like on camera at all. I
That's
will
true. I'm the
roll
same
up
way.
and I have the filter on, and I'm just like
I love that, but you don't even look like it. Like you look like you do in your things. You
Yeah.
said that, and I was like, you look
it
like
just blurs my skin a little, makes my teeth a little whiter, like
Yeah.
eyes a little brighter.
a little vibe. I like
Yeah.
it. It looks so good though. Everything looks. I mean, in person, you look like a filter for real.
Thank you. You do too. It's like hard like looking at you because like I've seen you for so many years that it's like to hear your voice in person. It sounds the same, but it's different. Like
Yeah, I feel that way too. I feel that way, like even seeing you guys too. It's always like it's just weird in general to like see people in person because you're like, oh my god, this is like such a weird. I always say that. Even at Beetlejuice, we saw like just influencers, like random TikTokers, like that, like I don't know, just people maybe people want to know, but I would see them like, oh my god, it's so weird to see them in person, you know, because you see them on TikTok. But let me tell you, everybody looks a little different, not in a
Yeah.
bad way, but everyone definitely puts on their best like angle or whatever on TikTok, and then you see them, and everyone looks a little different. But then people are always shocked, they're like that doesn't look like them. I'm like, well, yeah, because there's filters even on TikTok. There's filters and all
yeah.
that.
Actually, like I usually get good feedback. People are like, "You look way better in person." I'm like, "Thank God," because I used to have like kind of a swollen looking face. I swear, I don't know what it was, but I just looked like overweight. So then they would see me in person, be like, "Wow, you're so fit."
Most people are smaller in person, but
Yeah.
I don't know. People just always look a little different, bigger, smaller, taller, all that stuff like that.
Was Katy Perry like really small?
She was tall but tiny.
really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was pretty tall.
Very
You saw her,
skinny.
right? You saw her. So
I saw her
thought-
live, like on stage.
She was so small. I was like, oh, I couldn't help but stare at her body. I was like, okay, you're so tiny. And
Yeah.
as someone who's never been tiny, whenever I see a tiny girl, like my initial thing to tell people is you're so tiny. And I know you're not supposed to say that anymore. Like you're not
Yeah.
supposed to comment on people's appearance. But I always say it as a compliment because like I grew up in an age where like tiny was a compliment, but
Mm-hmm.
now people like I get triggered by it. So like I try not to say it, but she was tiny. But she lived for it. I was like, you're tiny. She goes, girl, I know. I did. Like she was like telling me all her
Yeah.
secrets, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
She was like everything.
I mean, I still like is skinny bad? I mean, I loved anything skinny,
I think you can't call people skinny anymore.
but like like Cheesecake Factory has like their skinny burger, or, like
Oh,
their skinny
right.
licious menu.
I love their skinny licious
Me
menu.
too.
They have that chicken pasta for like 595 calories, and I like love it
So is that
much.
not offensive? I guess, and just skinny food.
They should
right?
get canceled. Honestly, let's cancel Cheesecake Factory because skinny is offensive now.
I'm surprised that Demi Lovato hasn't come from them yet, right? Is she the one that's like?
I know. I was trying to defend her in a couple episodes ago. I was kind of like, oh, I kind of live like I kind of understand her froyo rant, and everyone's like, no, that's not it. She was
Yeah.
wrong. I was like, I like Demi. I'm kind of a fan of hers now.
She was like giving the J-Lo Blake before, it was popular.
That's what I'm saying. There's always that like group of like girls that get hate for like whatever, and like Blake is like a little bit, it's hard in the press,
Yeah.
but then I kind of feel bad for her too. I'm kind of like, well,
I do too. Like, I mean, I think that there's like that's why there's two sides to everything. Like, I think we can acknowledge her being like so like just bad at press,
yeah.
bad takes, bad everything, but also like I can't imagine what that feels like.
No, for
like
sure.
celebrity or not, even if she thinks she's like the hottest like
No, to get
must
all that
suck.
hate and to be like, I think she's trying to do, and you know when you constantly like, I see the clips of her being like me. Sometimes people don't know they're doing that. So in a way, it's like it's good she's getting called out because maybe she doesn't know. Maybe she's like unaware that she always talks about herself. I was like that for so long too, where it's like me just saying me again. But like you know, you just like, you're like okay, you make everything about yourself, and sometimes you're not like aware that you're doing it. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I'm sure. I think I think Justin Baldoni said like she'll probably direct the next one. He's like, are you directing the next one? He's like, no, I think Blake's gonna do that. I was like, oh yikes. Which I don't know. Have you seen the movie?
Yeah.
You like it?
Yeah, I mean, not really. Actually, no, it was so triggering. I was like so triggered. I was in a DV kind of situation like a couple years ago, and like it's so interesting when you're not in that situation, like what it feels like. Because I can stand on my YouTube channel and tell like everyone all day, like don't allow that to happen, like expose these like harmful people. But when you're in it, even me, I try to think myself very strong, like. It's freaky. It's like that almost like it's like imposter syndrome in a different way. You know, it's like or Stockholm syndrome where you just feel like I couldn't realize in the moment that I was like being. I mean, I did realize I was being hit around, but you know, he was so manipulative and convincing.
Really?
So that kind of all that stuff really triggers me. It's like hard for me to.
So when you watch it in film, it's not because I asked.
It makes
this
me
question.
actually physically sick.
That's what I was wondering, right? Like, why do they make movies like this? Like, what's the point?
Well, it's also kind of like how I do well on social media. Like it's evoking emotion. Like whether it's good, bad, or whatever, it's emotion. We all want to feel something. So to like have something that can take you to that point just by watching a screen, I think is like. That's why I always say in my YouTube video, like no one wants to hear about like, you know what I mean? Like we love to see like Olivia Rodrigo with her boyfriend smiling out and about, but like, but that's not going to lead someone to go and like watch it because it's not going to evoke that.
I see. That
feeling.
makes sense because like so many people have talked about it where it's like I don't want to watch that either on film, but I'm like, wow, everyone's talking about it. Maybe I should go see it.
Yeah. Honestly, I need to do better at like avoiding that stuff because it's just like it's
triggered you.
Yeah, it is like triggering, and I like usually feel like I'm good at like disconnecting from those kind of things, like from content or like actually maybe not because I'm like every time I see a dog dying on TikTok, I'm sobbing when someone's like my dog died. You don't really care about animals though, right?
First of all, yes, I do. Oh my god, especially if they die. And I know like when losing a pet. Wait, what happened? When did your dog pass away?
No, my dog died. Just anyone's dog. I was like,
no,
I was
no.
gonna say like I need to get better at just disconnecting that emotional aspect because I do get that easily influenced, you know.
Same. Even if I don't experience like obviously like, I'm not like a dog person, but it's like I still get sad when people's dog dies. You know, especially like so I have to skip past that stuff too on TikTok or anything with you know a dog missing its arm or anything. I'm just like I can't watch it.
Oh my gosh,
you
not
know?
missing an arm.
Yeah, no, and then like even like kid stuff like you know it's really sad if there's like loss and I have to. So I appreciate trigger warnings because like it is like it's hard for me to deal with, and I'm not even like that close with pets, but something like this where you are close and you've experienced it, I couldn't imagine. Like for me personally, my trigger is more like movies. There was one with Jenna Ortega about like a teacher, like a college teacher that was like, and those are like, yes, she's college age, but like that triggers me more. And I feel like I'm like, why do we keep making movies like this? And I love Jenna Ortega, but I was like, what's the point of these movies? Like to show how creepy the world actually
to show
is.
you that it can happen. That's what I don't like either because it plants the idea of it. Because then someone could see that and they think that's okay or they're normalizing it.
Yes. Well, that's what I always talk about. Is like I always thought that was totally okay. I loved the movie Great Balls of Fire with Dennis Quaid and Winona Ryder, and she was his 13-year-old cousin, and he married her when he was 21, and like whatever. And I thought that's what I wanted. So I used to go up to Michael Jackson's house literally when I was 13 years old, and I really fantasized in my head for real that he would like want to marry me, right? Because in the media you always heard like, oh, he likes kids, and I didn't know at the time. Right, I was like 12, so I didn't really get he likes little boys.
Like, I have a chance to hear that.
Literally, and I would stand outside, and I think my dad didn't know this. Obviously, he wouldn't like drive me up there for that reason. But I would stand outside, like hoping, like, oh, maybe he'll see me, maybe he'll want to marry me, like Dennis Quaid. He played Jerry Lee Lewis. Jerry Lee Lewis married his cousin, so that's how I thought, and it does glamorize it. So when I see this, and I have had so many stories with teachers and stuff like that with me, and so when I saw this one with Jenna Ortega, I was like, but who are they making this for? Like perverts?
Whose idea was it? Their intention behind it?
The fantasy of it, and same thing with the It Ends With Us. I'm just like, I guess if there's like a lesson to be learned, but from what I heard, there's not. There's no like moral, like this is like wrong. I mean, I guess Justin Baldoni's like raising awareness now on his socials, but like, why would he want to put himself as that role? I just don't understand. I'm just like, I don't get it. But what you said makes sense. But evoking emotion, I guess, even if it's bad and triggering, I don't know.
Well, I even saw on the Canceled podcast, they were talking about how like the author is now being accused of possibly lying about what influenced the writing of the book. So essentially the book was written like about her mom's relationship with her dad.
Right.
But then like they split up, and she said like her first memory was at 6 years old seeing a chair thrown at her mother, like from her father. But then now people are going back and reporting that their parents have been split up since she was 2.
Oh no.
So it's like,
oh no.
But then like again, does that mean they cannot be in the same room? You cannot say that? Maybe.
Yeah.
But
I mean, that'd be a crazy thing to lie about if that
I
was
know.
like, yeah, oh my gosh. But people just dig, don't they? They just like to dig and be like, actually, that's not true. I always try to like take that with like a grain of salt too. I'm like, okay, well, you didn't know her parents. You didn't know if they were like in the room. And granted, that could be the case. And maybe that's why she wanted to write it. But yeah, that press tour was wild. I was like, oh my God, the way they treated that was like insane. And I think, I don't know. I'm Blake Lively will be fine. She has like so much money. She like doesn't care, you know.
Yeah.
But it is wild to be perceived that way. And I now know who Justin Baldoni is because of that. So
I know,
you know,
good win for him, right? Honestly,
yeah, he has a podcast called Man Enough, which is a little problematic though. I saw that I was like, that's kind of weird, you know, when people are like, "Are you man enough?" I'm like, what does that even mean, you know? Whole
so
thing, yes.
We saw the new canceled episode. Are you feeling,
Yes.
as someone who's like friends with Tana and Brooke, are you feeling
Yeah.
like some sense of peace that you're like the girls are back? Or you're like you woke up this morning like yes.
It's so hard to comment on the situation for so many reasons, right? Obviously, I know Tana and Brooke, and I really like them, and it's like, but I also totally get like people thinking that she shouldn't ever come back. I mean, there's people who think I shouldn't even have a podcast. You know what I mean? So I think it's a tough one. I mean, you can't just like be like, like I throw them under the bus, you know, like shame on you forever, especially when I've done like shit. Yeah, I think. What are your thoughts on it?
I'm so scared to say my thoughts because
Yeah,
like
me too,
also
I
is your
don't know.
audience nice? Like are they gonna be nice to me?
They're very nice.
I
Our
think
audience
it'd be
is,
great.
it's more like TikTok clips, so they clip it and then people are like, oh, I hate this person.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that's why. Yeah, I don't.
I would say like the one thing I would say about the Brooke thing is that I remember when these tweets came out like initially like a year ago. And like so when she brought it up again, like when she did her reaction, I was surprised that I didn't like that it almost seemed like she's reacting to it again for the first time. And I wish that like I hope next time when it comes because everything it's all waves, you know. So in like 2-5 years, hopefully it doesn't. That like she's like, hey guys, remember I put in the work because this time she could have been like, hey, a year ago when this was supposed, I've been putting, and I'm sure she has. Like she's been super aware. But there's definitely that like emotional aspect that kind of like I can see it playing out within her, and like as a viewer and like as a creator, it's so like, oh, I just wish you could like tell them like, you know, take a breath because like we've all been there where we just impulsively get on the phone on camera and just like dish it out, and they're like canceled is so big. I mean, there's so many people involved, like the tour and those things.
Yeah.
I truly can't imagine like how it feels / like just trying to do everything in my power to make it like better, like less worse. I do think being away for 3 weeks, it was like probably it was a choice because like if they did episodes for 3 weeks, I'm sure by the second, third episode, we would have already been talking about something new. You know what I mean?
Oh, right.
In my
So
opinion, as a
everyone's
viewer.
waiting. Yeah.
Yeah, like probably the first comeback, rough. Second one, probably rough. Third, it's like, okay, we're just back on canceled.
Yeah.
So I feel like it delayed it a little bit, waiting like 3 weeks and an hour doing it. But nonetheless, their podcast conversation went well, you know?
Yeah, I feel what is the right time? It's like
There
you know,
is no right
There's
way.
no right time, and you know, there's people who go away for a year, and then people who like don't go away at all. You know, I feel like through my stuff, it's like I just continue posting because I have to. You know, it's like. You know, I don't know. I don't know the back end of that, but I agree with you. But it's also like if they came back too soon, would people be upset? You know, people are upset over anything, right? I think that's like Tana doing it with Paige, people are upset. And then Tana coming back with Brooke, they're upset. And it's just like people are going to be upset. And like, what do? Do you just, I always think like if you, to really be canceled, you cancel yourself, right? Like if you just leave the internet, like Jenna Marbles or something like that. And I guess that's the only true way to do it.
Do you like, because like, I feel like, obviously, like, real life is real life, and, like, you're not, like, with these girls all the time. You're not, like, best friends with them, but you're friends with them, and, like, and from, like, public perspective, they see you as, like, really good friends. You know, to a normal person, they're like, Trisha's best friends with them.
Yeah.
So do you kind of get that anxiety whenever, like, you're not that close to it, but you're close enough to where it's, like, people are going to come to you, and, like, obviously, even this segment, and, like, they're going to look for anything that you could possibly say that gives some inclination.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and I think that's how it was with like Colleen, right? Like I barely knew her, but we did 3 podcasts together, and all of a sudden it's like, well, Trisha needs to say anything. I wasn't saying anything because at the time I wasn't this. I think it's like inauthentic for me not to talk about them now because this is like what I do, right? It's like if I was in something, I'm sure they would talk about it. So it feels like inauthentic not to talk about it. And it's just hard. But I feel like, no matter what, like I said, when I think with Colleen, I barely knew her. But because we had 3 podcast episodes together, everyone's like, well, I didn't know anything about the Adam stuff. Like, truly, truly, truly. And of course, being friends with her, you know, you just are like, oh, it's all lies. It's all lies, which is what she says, which is what she said to me when I was like, did you send my nudes to someone? Like, no, that's all lies. They sent it to me.
I can't imagine, like, that conversation. It's so cringe. Were you, in that moment, though, is your, like, stomach sinking? Are you, like, shaking, like, asking that?
So I think that's when you know something's wrong, right? When it's, like, your gut. Because at first I wasn't. I was like, okay, she's telling me it's all lies. I'm not looking into it. I wasn't looking into drama for like years or a couple, like it was like a couple years. I was on a little sabbatical from drama. So I was like, okay, so she's telling it's all lies. You know, Adam obviously has come for me in the past. So you just like think like, he's just making stuff up or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you like, when you get into it and like you really, that's why I started feeling for Adam because I was like, holy. Because all of a sudden I was in that position where she lied to my face where she's like, no, I didn't send those. And then I saw it, like literally her friend like holding my like OF next to his face. And I was like, girl, like her friend that's not even online. I'm like, girl, this is caught, you know? And she like did admit to it. She's like, yeah, I was a coward, like, sorry. But I'm like, but why would you lie? I get her with so many outs.
Weird.
I was like, girl, I've talked about people behind their back. I get it. Just tell me if this is true. So I kind of know how to like, she was trying to get back with the podcast.
Because even though she was like, this is so weird, Trisha, like, I'm sorry. This is the weirdest thing. It was such a bully. Like,
Yeah.
I did it though. But,
No, but she didn't.
How do we move forward? But
No, she was like, no, they sent me weird pictures of you. So then when I saw it, I was like, girl, what?
Yeah,
Like,
make
you
it
got
make
caught.
sense.
Like, yeah, I like, that's why I'm very honest. Like, when I did Call Her Daddy, I was like, just so you know, girl, there's probably clips of me saying that you're annoying and why do you have, like,
Yeah.
I was very honest because, like, how can you, like, hold that back when you're, like, face to face with someone? And so many people talk to people, and, like, I was giving her that out, and when she didn't, I was like, girl, you're psychotic, actually. But totally, I just went on a different tangent. But yeah, when you're, like, have that association with someone, yeah, just it is what it is. I don't know.
Are you like, so you watching them two like hash it out? Like, are you like, are you proud of them? How they handle it?
I don't know. I don't know the right situation. I don't know the right answer because I am such a scared person in general, right? Like I'm scared for people who get canceled. I'm scared for people like mentally if they're okay when they get canceled. But then I'm also scared, you know, to talk about anything because I have my own past. So it's just like I'm just as a scared person. So I don't know. I don't know what the situation could have been, right? Either they quit the podcast, Hannah does it on her own, or they come back together. And I don't know what the right answer is, but I know for me, you just continue the podcast, right? Like I don't know.
You don't have like, you're not like closer to one or the other, right? You're just like friends with them both.
I would say I know Tana better, but
Because it's been like years of like,
yeah, but when Brooke has been here, she came here like last year, and then like a few times, like she always is like very like nice. They've helped our like channel. They're super popular, so it is a tough one. But yeah, and I say this with all my cancellation too. Like, you know, there's just always gonna be people that don't like you, and like that's just it. That's just you just have. And I think they seem to take that right that they're like people are just not gonna like us, and but a lot of people will, and
That's why I feel like if the timing sometimes like if you do have them like a good amount of people that like you just like feed into them before like they don't get what they want and they're gone. You know, it's scary.
It's such a weird thing to like navigate online.
There's no
too.
great way to do it.
There's none.
Literally none.
And yeah, and it just sucks. And like the thing is, you can't like rewrite your past. You know what I mean? So it's just like,
especially that. I mean,
accept it
'cause, like, especially things that are like so long ago. It's like I feel like it's a lot easier to like hold someone accountable or cancel them for something they did like in the recent history. You know?
Yeah, it's a tough one. And then some people do stuff recently, and it's like I don't know, people don't care about it. I don't know. It's like yeah.
That's all we're at on that. We're not trying to dive deep in that.
I was like, honestly,
I think the chapter just needs to like let's just move on, but with mindfulness.
Yeah, if you want to move on or don't watch them, you know, a lot of people are like I'm not watching this anymore, and like I get that too. You know what I mean? Like watch them or don't watch them, and yeah, they were saying like you don't want to be the accountability police. It's like that's me too. I'm like I'm not trying to be accountability police. I'm also not trying to be cancel police. Like cancel who you want to cancel. Like that's the world we live in. It's a canceled kind of world, and it's just I don't know. I've been through it enough, I guess. So I'm just like okay, but on the flip side of that too, right? When you get canceled and you get canceled so hard, like. I think it'll take like literally my whole life until I'm like dead for people to be like, oh, Trisha actually was a good person in the end, you know, because it's like my cancellations were like a long time ago, but at the same time, it takes a long time for people to see you in a different like light, and just certain things change that. I think for me, like having my babies, like a lot of people, like, it doesn't make you a good person just because you have babies, and it's like true, but it does like change you. You know what I mean? It does change you as a person.
I'm sure you as a person too. Like you can look back in hindsight and be like, I'm totally different just because of having these kids. You have a different sense of responsibility for not only them but for yourself too. You got to be here for them.
I never want to like embarrass my kids now. You know what I mean? It's like and not in the sense of like how I dress or how I look. It's not like that embarrassment. It's never like I don't want to be publicly beefing or feuding with people if it's gonna like embarrass my kids. You know what I mean? And it's like I'm at an age where it's like I don't necessarily need to have the truth be out there, or I don't need to be right. I'd rather just like
you don't need to win the battle.
Yeah, I'm like, let me just be like somewhat cute for my kids, you know, as opposed to like a year before having my kids. Oh my God, I come for everyone's throb. I don't care. I'm gonna do this. Like embarrassing. Like we were talking about earlier, like me sending like a cease and desist to Gabby. Like what? Like why was I doing that? Why did I care? Why was I so angry? I'd watch my outbursts to people. I'm like, God, I was such an angry person. And I think when you're like young, like the canceled girls are like, just anyone, right? Like the Sophia LaCour and the hot, like you know, you're young, so it looks to everyone else, you're like, girls, this is embarrassing, this is messy, like what over a guy, like, but you're young and like that feels like that's what you need to do at the time.
Lessons learned.
Yeah, Sophia's trying to be like villain. This is my villain era. And people are like, yes, we love that little. Oh, we can't say it.
Hey, don't she almost said it.
Believe it. I guess you can't say the word. I don't know. It's also just a root.
Can you say like redhead?
Redhead. I don't know.
Is that even how you want to say that?
Christy's saying yes.
Redhead?
So yes.
Okay, orange haired.
But people are like, they really come for her and she's like playing into it. And it's like, I get it. When you're young and you have like nothing to lose or no one to embarrass, you're like, who cares? But, then you look at it.
She's also getting that negative feedback that like, that the hype, the clout of it in like the worst way possible. Like we all have seen it before where you're like, maybe not doing the best, but then like everyone's eating it up. So it's like, might as well give them more.
I think that was me too for so long, right? You're like, I'm just going to play into this. I'm going to be even like more crazy. I'm getting all the money and all the attention. And yeah, like now I can look and be like, oh my God, that's embarrassing. It's going to be on there forever for you. Like what? And they like regret it later on. But I think that's just part of like being youthful.
With her too, it's like, you can't call her she's owning it. She's like, I am the, you can't call me crazy if I act crazy, that kind of thing.
But that
so
was always
own it,
double down. If someone's like, you're crazy, I'm like, watch this. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'll show you it. And
you haven't seen crazy yet.
Yeah, and I think that's like a scary thing. I think about that with like Pearl or HRH even, and like it makes me sad actually she's not a troll, because in my head I'm like, she's a troll, she'll regret this later. You know what I mean? But if she's like, if that's how she feels, honestly, I guess that's good, because it's like if I said stuff that I felt and people canceled for me, I'd be like, whatever, this is how I feel. But because I didn't like feel it and stand behind it, it makes me sad, because I'm like, God, I wasn't that person, and people will know me forever as being, oh, Trisha's a bad person, right? And it's like, but the things I said that like made me quote unquote a bad person, like I never felt. It's one thing, I guess, if you truly feel that way and you can stand by it, okay, fine. But that Pearl too, where she talks about people, I'm just like, oh God, it's like you're gonna regret this. But maybe they won't. Maybe if you're just a bad person truly, like you're just like a judgmental person, like maybe you don't feel bad, maybe you don't feel guilt, and then you just, eventually those people don't last, or they go to Fox News or whatever, and then that's their life. But it's just crazy.
They just Amber Rose, like Fox News.
Right? How wild is that? But
well, I think you've done really great, and you've built such a great community here, and like the people, like, and I would say like myself who's followed your story, like I can see who you are. Like those hours and hours of footage for years, like it gave us the opportunity to see, like you could pick up on those little things, you can see when you're in like the I can remember like when you're saying back like double down in the troll mode. I could see it. There's something in the eyes too. It's like you could just tell when it's like you're like, the character. Yeah. But I think that's like it's really cool, just like acknowledge that too, and just like to see the growth and to see the behavior and post this, I guess, like trolling wave you've had.
Yeah.
Because you were I think about the dogs have brains.
Right, which is clearly like a troll, right? But then it's like people like don't get it. Sometimes they think that's so real, and you're just like, damn, I was like a troll. But also it's like, damn, sometimes it's like, and that's like the least of it, right? That's like the least of my stuff. But it's like sometimes those things you're just like, oh damn. And sometimes when you're not trolling, they still see you as a troll, like the transgender video I made, right? It's like I really just knew myself as like non-binary, but it wasn't like a word back then. You know what I mean? So it's like in my head I'm thinking, well, I'm
like,
trans.
Finally I learned the word. I'm like,
and then it comes around, and I appreciate you saying that. It's always like nice to hear, and it just takes time. I think any cancellation, the only way you get uncanceled is to show you've changed, which I really do think it takes a lifetime, right? Until you're dead. It's like, was she a good person until she died? Like, do her kids say, oh, she was a good person, she tried to do that? It's like, that's what is the real
scary
test.
It's like, you just want to like operate in silence at that point, right?
Right. No, that's true. And then you never know. I know, but then you have people like Rob Schneider's daughter just going on blast being like, he was a and it's like, and he's, I mean, kids are truthful, and it's like, so you just try to be the best you can be and best person, and it's, I don't know.
We're trying.
Yeah, I'm so glad I'm not like a 20-something influencer, because it's hard to navigate, and it's just, I don't know, there's no way to do it and go about. People are always going to be mad, and I don't know, rightfully so, unrightfully so. It's just what it is.
I agree. Like, especially seeing these TikTokers and stuff nowadays, I'm like, oh, I'm glad I didn't do this at like 2021. Like, I went to the government. I worked a full-time job. Like, I know it's like to work like 50 hours, like doing data science. I don't want to do it again. So filming my videos and doing these things, it's like, it shows me what the real world is. And like, thank God I had that, went to college, had those real experiences. Because I can't imagine like this environment, like even TikTokers I know nowadays are like 21 years old, like figuring themselves out and like real time out here in LA, like
no, I know. I've had like 18-year-old TikTokers on here, and I'm just like, oh my God, like all the stuff they have to like deal with and go through and all navigate. It's like so hard. Or when you get, like you said, a ton of money at a young age, and you're just not, you don't really realize like what it means. Like, who was it? There was one TikToker who's like, I spent an hour on that, and it was $4,000, and all I got was $4,000. I was like, $4,000 an hour? I will do anything for $4,000 an hour. Like, I'll do anything for $400. I'm on Cameo. Like, I don't care. Like, I will hustle to like the dying day, because it's just like, that's insane. Like, to get $500 for like a minute of your time, like that's like, so to even say $4,000, like it's, and people are just so out of touch, and I get that. I think that's what's frustrating about the influencer world today, right? People are like, you're so out of touch with it, but it's like they haven't had to work these like real jobs, and
that's why I'm so thankful I did, because I'm like, luckily I'm just not out of touch in that way. Like, I can go back and use my degree if I needed to, but I don't want to, so I'm gonna work really hard doing this,
Well, you kind of are. smart. I mean, you're very smart. You've used your degrees another way, which is like really, really smart. And I think that's a good thing. You're just more appreciative of it because you know the struggle of even people who went to like medical school, right? Like you're like some of these people are making more than like a doctor who like is like literally a brain surgeon
saving
or something.
lives.
Yeah, and it's so I think people just don't realize like how lucky they have it. It's what's that one, Michaela, where she's like, try being an influencer for a day.
Oh my gosh.
And she's like, I worked. It's 5:15, and I just got off work. I'm like, girl, I love her for that, but that's a wild clip. When I hear that, I'm like, oh my god,
It needs to be like an SNL skit. Like seriously.
That was that one was a wild one. But again, they're young, and it's like I get it. Like it is and you have to deal with hate online too. That's a whole other thing. You don't deal with it in like a government. Maybe you do. Maybe the government's like yelling at you.
They're hateful in different ways.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
like
you're
your
like, I'm
data
prepared.
sucks. Like your data. I used to do data for like for like the military. So like pretty much I did like all the data analysis to make sure like we could go to war at any point.
Oh my
so,
gosh.
like every base and stuff. Yeah.
Did you have like the codes?
Not the codes, but I had the data that would like.
Wow.
That could like so I had a security clearance and everything, so I couldn't
God.
like get like bought off, I guess, by like foreign governments trying to like figure out how many personnel we have at all of our military bases. So it's like I actually studied exactly what I did. Like I studied stats in school, but
wow. So are you ever worried they're gonna come get you?
oh no.
Okay.
I mean, because I was making YouTube videos when I got my security clearance, and they're like, oh, you can't be doing anything like this online, and that's
like,
why I did my
okay.
name SL04N. I put numbers in it and made it so confusing. Terrible. Later on, I made my LLC like with the tax documents. I got so screwed over with that, but they could never find me. So
oh my god, I didn't
So I
know
got
the
away
lore
with it.
behind your name. Oh my
Yeah.
god, and now you're like, okay, I will never work for the government again.
yeah, no,
That's
I would
wild.
not.
Oh my god. What if they call you like Men in Black style thing? Like we need you for like if they need you to go inside for something. They're like we have an inside job and you're the only one with security clearance.
No, but this was so boring. My job was so boring.
Oh,
I was
okay,
doing it at
okay.
home. I was working from home before like COVID.
Oh, you weren't going into like the Pentagon or anything like that.
Oh, I was. Yeah, I was going to the Pentagon,
Oh,
but
well,
I was
that's
going like
serious.
twice a week.
Wait,
So-
what? That's so
Yeah.
serious. You're like,
Can
I'm
you-
just at home, but like, oh my
When
god.
mostly at home, but I would go in to present my data because I couldn't like it's so secure you have to go and bring it there. But I hate going to the Pentagon because all of the windows are bright lime green. Because they're like like after 9/11, like they're anti-bomb or something, so they won't shatter. So it actually looks like your hair. Like when you're in the Pentagon, it literally looks like that everywhere because the walls are like reflecting the window.
You could do so many cool TikToks though, like green screen,
Right?
and you just like put stuff in
Oh,
there.
the whole
and be
room
like,
is just green.
Yeah,
right?
that's actually so iconic. Actually, did you ever do it? TikToks in the Pentagon?
No, I'm still trying to figure out the TikTok. Like I'm so bad at it.
Oh yeah, you don't do them. Well,
I do it on my
Christy,
computer.
She's killing it.
I know,
Spill
she's so
Sesh
good at
over
it.
there. You should. I feel like it is a lot more like work, but it's just like such a good like reach to people, you know, because it's like you get so many more views on there. And yes, you don't get paid a lot, but it's just like the amount of people that are like interacting, engaging, all of that. You really should.
That's
or
what I feel
just
about
cut it out.
Facebook.
What?
Because like people come to me like, I love your Facebook. I'm like,
What? Do you post on there?
I have like one of my like assistant's brothers does it for me.
Oh my god, I
And he
kind of
like
love that.
puts all my content, my podcasts and stuff on there.
Oh my
But I
God.
made like almost like I made 8K in like 1 week.
Wait,
on Facebook.
what? I never did. I used to have companies post that stuff, and I tell them not to because they end up like costing
they
you
all
money.
and that's what happened to me too. And then they like fell as a company, so they built my page up to like 500K followers, and they're like, oh, you don't have to pay us back your sign on anymore. Just take ownership. So I just trained my employees to run it. Now we just run it in house.
So smart. Yeah, they were giving me like invoices like, okay, this is how much it costs to edit, this is how much you made, and I was like
Oh,
losing money. And I was like,
no, yeah.
no, this is a scam, and I got
Yeah.
out of it quickly. But
Was it Jelly
interesting.
Smack?
No.
Was it Jelly Smack, was
no,
it?
I never heard of it.
That was the company. I
Oh,
worked
is
with.
it? Okay, no, it wasn't that.
They no longer exist. So.
I don't even know. Wait, what?
They don't exist any longer.
Oh,
so,
they don't? What happened?
Yeah.
They
They just
bellied
fell through
up?
it because they like were hiring these like terrible editors like across in another country to like edit these videos, and they like they
was it
told-
your videos they were putting up?
Yeah, so they take it from YouTube and then just re-edit it into like a Facebook format. and
I
then
had a
post it on
company that was
Facebook.
putting up like random like animal videos on my Facebook.
Oh no, just random anything. And they're like, oh, this is how much money it'd cost.
I don't know. It was like weird. No, that company was putting up my videos, but this one was just like random, and they were posting it. And I was like, but I wasn't making any money, so I'm like, what's happening here?
That's so
it felt
weird.
a little weird. It was a little weird. I was like, maybe I should stop this. So I just
Yeah.
stopped the Facebook thing
I
altogether.
stay away from Facebook. I just have
Yeah.
I haven't run it, and I'm like, just
Well,
let me
people
know.
seem to like you on there, so maybe keep it going.
Yeah, well, I think because sometimes I cover like old stories from like 40 years ago, like talking about Shirley Temple or like talking about just classic Hollywood stars, like
Oh.
Elvis, Maryland. I'm doing a Maryland podcast maybe tonight. I don't know,
Oh
tomorrow.
my, wait, with someone's Maryland podcast.
No. I'm just gonna do it. So I stopped doing interviews on my podcast because like I feel like you kind of notice this too. Interviews don't pull the numbers, so it's not gonna pay the bills. So
Right.
I'd rather just like my podcast is like a deeper dive version of my channel, and we do deeper dives into a particular story.
So you do Marilyn.
Yeah, I'm just gonna talk about like
love
the
her.
weird parts of her, like how that one guy like paid to be buried next to her,
Ugh,
and then he
I
got
hate that story.
he got buried on
I
top of her,
know.
like facing her.
No, I know. I hate that
Ugh,
so much. That's
so gross.
Yeah, all of her stories so tragic. I did a Marilyn Monroe documentary It was on like I forgot, it was like the ID channel or something like that, and it's called This Happened Here, I think. And it was like, this deep dive into Marilyn Monroe. And I just love her so much. I just feel like she was another one that she got so much hate while she was alive. But then in death, I think that was Anna Nicole. I'm going to just put myself in that category. I feel like in death, I'll be more popular. You know what I mean? Or who was it? Like Joan Rivers. Like everyone hated her, but now people, I guess they don't love her.
Joan Rivers. I mean, I like watching the clips. I like, the bluntness of her. Actually, speaking of, isn't this like, Anna Nicole Smith's bedroom?
Yes, it is. Anna Nicole's bedroom.
I grew up watching that show. That was one of the Girls Next Door and Anna Nicole Smith.
Oh God, I loved it. Bobby Trendy, it was so good.
Bobby Trendy, I just saw him last week. He always comes up to me and says hi to me.
Oh wait, really?
Yeah.
You should have him on your podcast.
You should have him on your podcast.
I would love it.
This would
Please
make more
come on.
sense.
No, I would live for Bobby Trendy. Oh my God.
He's cool. He's always like on a little something. Always like jumping around at the club.
Really?
But he's got this old like husband who's like really tall but like super old, like gray hair.
Really?
It's funny. He's always with Bobby, and Bobby's just like running around the club, and there's like this old man walking behind.
But
like,
Bobby has to be older too, no?
He is, but he's like still kicking.
He still looks good.
Yeah, he like he's got his hair dyed. He's like young, bouncing around.
Okay, I kind of love that. He still wears like gloss and his frosted tips. I love that. Oh my gosh. Who's your favorite gay that you've seen? I guess we can wrap it up too. So, but who's your favorite gay that you've seen out in Hollywood, in West Hollywood?
My favorite gay, I would say,
Hi,
wow.
guys.
I'm like, not me thinking of like the ones I've like met. I'm like, Zach Sang. No, not him though.
You love him? Oh.
No. I mean, I just met him. He was nice to me. Like, he wasn't like whatever. But
Did he know what you did? Like, what?
Yeah, he knows how to do like YouTube and such, and like, so he was decent. Who else do I see out in WeHo? Who have I seen, Christy? Anyone? Like Adam Lambert. Yeah, I'd say Adam. Because I'm really good friends with his husband, Oliver.
Oh.
So like I go to their house just like hang out. And, like he lives 5 minutes up the road.
I love Adam Lambert. He's going to be in Cabaret on Broadway. I know you don't care about musical
Wait, no,
theater.
I know he's in New York right now. That's Oliver's
is he there
with them.
now?
Yeah, they're there right now.
Is he performing in it now or just rehearsals?
I think it's rehearsals right now.
Oh my gosh, I'm like so excited. I wish I could go and see him, but
He's so sweet. I was at his house, like Lil Nas X was there.
Oh my
Kate
gosh.
Beckinsale was there.
Oh, okay. Whoa. So you're in it. You're in the flow of it.
Kind of, until like they realize who I am. I'm like, oh, I need to get out the back.
Do you think that affects you, like your friendships and stuff like that?
Maybe less now. I think like friendships like with these people. Like
yeah, like Perez Hilton used to be friends with like Katy Perry, Lady Gaga, but then it was like
I can't stand Perez Hilton. I'll tell you
wait,
that.
why do people hate
I
him
can't
so much
stand
now?
him. I mean, I don't like him from my own personal experience.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
From like fighting with him on my podcast, and he was such an a-hole.
He was
but
on your podcast?
Yeah, me and him got into it.
Oh, what was it about?
Because essentially, like his lawyer, which this is all exposed now, but his Insider did a story about this lawyer who R-worded someone in the 80s and was able to hide it and get his bar license anyways. This lawyer has also worked with a bunch of people like Jamie Lynn Spears, like anyone you can think of, including Angelina Jolie, including Perez Hilton. And so I just asked him on the podcast, like, did you know that your lawyer R-worded someone in like the 80s? Because the reporter at Insider gave me like the scoop before, so this wasn't out yet. And then he got so mad. He was like,
really?
I said allegedly and everything, but he was like, you can't say that, blah blah blah, and trying to go off on me. And he was so annoyed that we spent literally 5 minutes setting up like audio. He set all these alarms on his phone for every 15 minutes in the podcast, and I could see him sending angry emojis to like his like manager. He was so mad that we were sitting for 5 minutes to set up the audio.
Wait, really? That's so weird. When was
throughout
this?
the thing, like the alarms kept going out.
And did you keep him in?
I
Are we
kept
hiding
like
him?
2 of them, yeah. I was just
You're like, oh my God,
no,
what's
because
he
I also
That's
put a
so
statement
weird.
saying he was the worst guest I've ever interacted with. I was like, I've interacted with multiple people and you're so
Your
rude.
podcast seems crazy. You had like HRH, Blair White, Perez Hilton. Like, were you just
Eugenia,
interviewing?
Cooney.
Right. So you're just interviewing these like.
I wanted to interview the controversial people. I wanted to like
Oh,
be that
okay.
person that like Rich Lux. I was like, are you a racist? And I was like, well, let me read your quote. Are you a racist still? Like I
Oh
was
my
trying to be like
God.
tough kind of. But I also wanted to create a space for like controversial people like Alexa to come on and like share her story, like talk about those things.
Oh my God.
It was so draining, girl. That's why I stopped doing interviews.
That's
like
a lot. I was like, wait a minute, that's like so many people. Oh my
like
God.
40 episodes ago, I stopped doing interviews.
Wow. How many episodes did you do total of it?
Like interview, I mean, I'm still doing it now. I have a deal with like a Studio 71, so we like put it out through that.
But like interviews, how many
Interview,
did you
I think
do?
I did 25.
That's a lot.
So I did like Caroline Calloway. Do you remember her, the scammer
No.
back in the day? She was like the New York scammer that went to Cambridge and then like just sold snake oil and it's
What?
this
Oh
whole
my
like
God.
lore.
How did you find? You just found these people and like, I want to
I
interview
was
you.
friends with her in Florida actually. I made
okay.
made friends with her there. We met actually like Julia Fox like connected us.
Oh, okay. You
Yeah.
like know everyone. Anna Delvey next on your podcast.
I would love to, but she
That's
kind of
what-
scares me.
Yeah, but I feel like that's your alley. You know
It
what I
would
mean?
be.
That's your vibe. You can deal with those kind of people.
I
She
don't
would scare
get like
me.
scared. Yeah, you know what I mean. I get scared like I wouldn't actually be scared confronting her. I'm not scared asking her those things. I just know I already know her, so she won't answer it to me. So it's like, what type of conversation would I have when I'm like sitting with someone who's like clearly lying back?
Oh, yeah, that would be so crazy. I know I want JoJo on, but I would love to just ask her. Cause I'm so scared to ask people like real questions, but I would just ask like so many. But more like I like sympathize with her more than like want to be like angry at her. You know what I mean? I'm like,
Did you see the Eurovision thing? Is she gonna be on Eurovision?
No, what?
JoJo Siwa, right?
Yes, who?
Yeah, she like I guess she followed like the Eurovision things, and she's been wanting to. She wants to go on Eurovision.
But with what country?
I don't know. You know, Poland.
She said she recently found out or something about she's Polish.
She's Polish and she wants to go on Eurovision.
As a joke, someone asked her if she was going to go on and represent Poland, so then she's embraced it as like this meme.
Okay.
So she's following
now,
everything.
Now she's like there right now. I think she literally for the name of it
Yeah.
flew there or something.
Did you do a video on this? Okay, Christy SPILL SESH just said she is in Poland right now. Breaking news, doing this meme of the Eurovision. Is
Yeah.
Eurovision happening now?
No, it's not anymore, right? We just had it.
It just ended.
Just going there for the
Oh my god, love that. I'm gonna
connect
just
their
like.
people.
Is she actually Polish or is she
She's
just?
there right now.
Breaking news! Oh my gosh. Okay, I love it.
Hours ago.
Oh my gosh, you really are.
She
on it.
seems so American to me. Like I just imagine her bulldozing into Poland. Like, so hey guys, I'm like, holy shit! Polish people are like, what is?
Yes.
You
Oh
know?
my god, that's actually so funny.
She's coming in like doing hand spins, and, like twirling in, like, geez.
I gotta live for JoJo. I know she's kind of like a
No,
little
I live
bit.
for
you
like
know?
the comedic aspect of it.
Yeah,
you know?
and I feel like she's another one. I don't want to like say she's going through trauma or something. I think like just what we've seen of her as a child star, she's obviously been through a lot. Even though she doesn't feel that, like watching it is a lot,
No.
right? Watching her
I'm
with
sure
Abby
her
Lee.
mom is probably like. I mean, the mom's got to be the source of it. It's not like JoJo like created this
Yeah.
whole world. Like her mom's like the one getting her into these deals and these
Yeah.
shows and stuff.
I mean, the mom was the one worried about being cut off. Like, are we going to be cut off? It's like, that's a weird thing to worry about when it's like
True.
your daughter's gone through so much. It's like, I'd be like, keep all the money. I don't care. Like,
Yeah.
whatever. Hopefully you're okay. And I hope she's okay at the end of it.
Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to put out there,
Wait,
Sloan?
if you were to do Eurovision, what country would you do? UK, right? I guess.
Why
Is it the only one you can speak? Is it the only one do you speak another language?
Korea. I speak a little Korean.
Euro.
Yeah. Oh, was that not in Europe?
Eurovision.
Where is it?
Europe, Korea?
Yeah. Where is that
I think it's like near Australia.
at? Okay. Well, isn't Australia in
I don't
Eurovision?
know anything about it.
Oh,
I just
you're
found out what
right.
Eurovision was, honestly.
It's like Europe.
I thought it was all around the world.
I thought so too.
No,
I
it's
think
just Europe.
Korean's
It's
in
just
there.
Europe.
Okay. Well,
When I lived in
I don't
Sweden
know
for a
what's
little
in
bit.
Europe then. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
Korea. She'll represent Korea.
Well, you just,
Let's go
you
with
just
that.
did your 23andMe. You'll be Sweden.
I could do
Yeah,
Sweden. Yeah, I guess that. I don't know. I have no idea what I'd be. Where would you be?
Oh wait, are you Swedish? Is that your thing?
I did have like a little bit in there in my ancestry.
Ah,
yeah.
Sverige.
Are you Swedish?
No, I was there for like 4 months.
Okay. Wait, why?
My uncle was like worked pretty high up in IKEA. Like
In
back-
IKEA?
Yeah. So like I went and stayed there.
Oh my
like, when I was
god,
in high
that's
school.
so funny. That's such a stereotype, right? It's like, oh my god, like I'm Swedish and my grandfather works in IKEA.
Yeah.
That's everything.
No, it is like such a thing though. Like they're everywhere, and that's where you go to eat for lunch. You're like,
You love the meatball there.
No, I'm.
Yeah, I'm
no.
not an IKEA person either.
Yeah, the food, even the one in Burbank, the food is not great.
No, that one is not it. But we are gonna eat bangin' buns. I'm so excited
I'm
about
so
this. Oh my! And your
excited.
first time having it.
Never had bangin' buns.
I'm so excited. You've eaten there. It's so good. It's like my favorite thing in the whole wide world. I know it was crazy. Me and Christy both have connections to bangin' buns. It's like, wow, what a small world
I know,
this is.
right?
They
I
delivered
love
it themselves.
They're here.
They were outside.
The guys.
Yeah, they came with this
You should've
beautiful
had them-
blue Mercedes.
Just had them come in.
What? You put them on.
Get them on the pod.
Actually,
I know.
are you sure the owners?
Yeah, definitely. They
He
were.
said, he was like, is it Uber? I said, no, it's them.
Wait, why did they come on? I'm so
Maybe I'll
sad.
come back.
I'm so excited. Oh, so it's here. What time did it get here?
When I left the room.
Like 20
Wait.
minutes ago.
10, 15 minutes.
The food is here.
Oh my god. Okay, we should probably eat. Oh, I like to eat it when it's hot. Okay, well we'll go there. We don't know when it's gonna be out yet though, but it's coming soon. The
Yeah,
mukbang. Okay.
Yeah, we've got the cameras already set up, so
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, let's go eat some bangin' buns. Sloan, thank you so
Thank you
much.
for having me
Sloan Cooks,
on.
everyone. Special guest, Christy SPILL SESH. You have to come back to do a full hot topic because you are so in it. And this was so much fun. Thank you so much. There were so many hot topics. There's so much.
I know,
There's
I'm
so
like
more
really-
to go through, but
you
we'll
know-
get it again. We'll do it again.
I know, and thank you, Oscar, for letting me come on to your spot. And he
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
needed a break. He needed a good break. So I'm glad he's having a vacation moment.
Come back
Anytime he needs a
refreshed.
trip, we'll see how people like me or not.
Yeah.
But
Come
always
back.
happy to fill in for him. But no one can replace Oscar.
No,
So
no.
don't try to call. Don't
It's
try
a
to
whole
compare.
cancel thing.
Yeah.
No, we love you guys so much. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.